Why does it matter? Why does it matter?
Italians don't. Love
Am I not
lasagna?
allowed to love lasagna if I'm not Italian? I am, by the way, kind of Italian.
So there have been also like other moments of like we've talked about Italian cuisine, and you know a lot, like you know a bunch of different Italian like desserts and Italian appetizers and Italian. You know,
do you hate Mondays?
Sure. I think you could do that just by living. But.
Sure, maybe. But I mean, the fact though that you would be willing to take a lasagna over the best breakfast, that you could possibly create is so wild.
What is that?
It just
that makes sense to me.
It just screams that you're overly Italian.
Okay, well maybe I am.
That's
or
totally
Garfield,
fine.
according to BC.
Yeah, that was a great moment. Which, by the way, BC's kind of right. Like Garfield isn't dead, but like it ain't cool. Like I think it's dying. Like your generation, you two kids, you guys have kids who are very young. I don't think they're gonna know who Garfield is.
We're not watching Garfield.
Yeah.
No.
I don't see a scenario where Garfield comes up.
I had a Garfield sweatshirt, I think, when I was a child.
I was thinking about that.
I didn't watch much Garfield.
I saw a guy
not a lot of Garfield and Friends.
No.
I saw
U.S. Acres.
I saw a dude at a bar in college with like a Garfield t-shirt. And typically stuff like that, you're like, oh, that's throwback. Oh, that's cool. Like, I did not think that at all. I was kind of like, oh, weirdo's a Garfield guy. Like, if you went up to somebody and said, I love Garfield. Like, I got a Garfield tattoo.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, what kids show would be cool to say that about.
The Fairly Odd Parents?
No, if you had a Fairly Odd Parents tattoo and said, I'm a big Fairly Odd Parents guy,
you
wouldn't think that guy's a complete freak?
I
would.
If you had a Wanda tattoo, I'd be like, that's kind of dope.
No, it wouldn't be, though.
How about a SpongeBob tattoo?
That's also stupid.
How about...
I think the takeaway here is Happer is not going to support any children's show tattoo.
Fair enough.
I'm really not going to support many tattoos at all.
Yeah, I pitched an idea of me getting a tattoo, and Mike immediately goes, "You're not getting a tattoo."
Well, that was just because he didn't feel like you were going to do it.
Yeah. I think I would get that tattoo.
Yeah, you won't.
Anyway, I do think I am. I mean, I definitely am like at least a little Italian. Like my grandparents on my dad's side are like my dad's Italian.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if that makes me like lasagna in an outsized way, but
that's kind of what I'm putting together.
But I do really like it, so I don't know where it comes from.
That was the only explanation I could come up with as to why Happer would take a regular lasagna.
He might just like lasagna.
Lasagna isn't that good over the best breakfast.
A piece of this equation is this, Matt.
I'm not doing it myself, but sometimes people just like.
You didn't think about the other side. The other side is, I just don't think breakfast is that cool.
See,
Great take.
I agree. I agree with you. I completely agree with you. I'm not necessarily. I'm not a breakfast guy either. I think my rankings of favorite meals of the day would go lunch, dinner, and breakfast.
I agree.
Like that's my thing. But the best breakfast you could possibly have, I'm just not.
What's it look like? What's it look like?
I would
probably the same ingredients as the worst breakfast you could possibly have.
That's right. Because it's just breakfast.
That's the worst breakfast. Sounds like it's like a parfait.
That is the worst breakfast.
I mean, I guess I would have to dispute that, Josh, because I think you can get worse pretty quickly with breakfast.
And probably some combination of sausage, eggs, and
cheese.
Yeah.
No.
Bacon.
No.
A waffle.
No.
I would have clock.
I would have a ham and cheese crepe. And then I would have a strawberry syrup blintz, along with 2 eggs over easy, fried.
I'd much rather have lasagna.
Fried tomatoes on the
much rather have lasagna.
You're talking me into lasagna.
What?
I'm the breakfast guy.
That's my version of breakfast.
Lasagna is way better.
You don't
than
like
that.
a ham and cheese
crepe?
crepe?
First of all, that's a lot of food.
I know. I'm gonna eat.
Yeah,
I eat a lot.
I got a big. How about this? I got a big pan of lasagna for it.
You said that.
It sounds better.
Let me tell you what. I got a big pan of lasagna.
I do. I
would take.
I certainly don't have a strawberry blintz.
What? You don't like a strawberry? Strawberry blintz is awesome. Never have that?
It's not better than lasagna.
I think it's better.
Bull question.
I'm not a very
Which
big
is better,
lasagna guy.
a strawberry blintz or lasagna? Let's see how
See,
this
it depends
goes.
on what mood you're in. They're two completely different meals.
I don't know that I'm ever in the mood where a strawberry blitz
Strawberry
is
blintz
beating
would
lasagna.
cure that craving.
You'll be sick right now. A strawberry blintz.
It's-
I don't know that I'm in a
Blintz
mood
is
where
awesome.
I say strawberry blintz out loud very often.
It's an incredible pull by you, Matt.
This is when you said the best breakfast ever. I'd probably have something savory. Oh, chilaquiles has to be on there.
I like
sure.
chilaquiles.
I would probably I would have to get a little bowl of chilaquiles somewhere in there.
Yeah, you
The
create
blintz,
whatever you
the
want.
Crepe, the hash browns, the roasted tomatoes on the vine. Maybe a little bit of like a pork belly, not like a thicker the thick bacon, not like the thin bacon, a thick piece of bacon would be there as well. I'm cool with that. I think the worst though, the worst.
Thanks. I'll take lasagna.
The worst breakfast just comes at like the all you can eat buffet at the Hampton Social or Hampton Inn or whatever. Or
Hampton Social. That sounds different.
Hampton Social is a restaurant in Skokie. I just kind of messed up there. But yeah,
Is it just the Hampton Inn? Where
I believe I've
people
been to the Hampton
eat at
Social.
it and they're social?
I have no idea. It's just called the Hampton Social.
Dude,
and
I
it's
went there. It's got,
overpriced and overrated.
Yeah, I went there once. It's got
went-
it's got there's like it's one of those places that has like the leaf wall and it says like thanks for being here. Or
I'm
something
cool in
stupid.
real life.
Well, how do you know that?
Because I've been there. It's an
Chica-
Instagram restaurant.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think that we've been to the same places in Chicago. That's incredible.
He
Didn't you
went-
just
called
say
the
you
DePaul
haven't been
game.
there?
No, I have been.
Oh, I thought you said you haven't
No. I don't go. I don't frequent. I went there once and I was like, this is ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
It was overpriced. It was all fancy schmancy and all modern.
I thought it
and
was
all-
good, but it was a little ridiculous.
It was. It's not the place for Happer and I. It's not made for me. It's made for teenage girls and middle-aged.
Yeah, I
wives.
mean, we weren't teenagers at the time, but
No.
it was like there was like me and my we weren't married at the time. It was like me and my girlfriend and
wow.
a friend and his girlfriend. Maybe we were no. This is like probably 7-8 years ago. But that's where we went.
Wow.
We went to I was immediately skeptical of the Instagram restaurant.
Yeah,
I just wanted a pizza.
I think that's one of those things.
but they
that-
give you the BS artisan, thin with the like. They don't. It's not like pizza.
No, I wasn't getting pizza there. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, no.
I think a good rule to go by is to be skeptical of the Instagram restaurant.
Yeah.
I agree with
That
that.
only exists to have pictures taken at it. Generally, is not,
The best recommendations to eat I've gotten from middle-aged men and Sarah Baker Hansen. Those are that's the two. Kevin Suits in Lincoln. Like I would just ask Kevin, what do you, like? Where am I going? And he would be like,
How many places are there really to eat in Lincoln?
He had some good breakfast spots.
Good tip.
What did he say? Green Gateau?
No,
Why are you dogging on Green Guitar?
Green Gateau's good. That's it. That's the one.
there's the
there's more.
the cash only cafe spot.
Whoa.
Stella's or something. Or Tina's. Went to Tina's.
Did you like it because it has the racing theme for everything?
Tina's,
And it has
Virginia's.
the curtains that look like they're on an
I was a big-
8-year-old's bedroom.
I
with
was kind of a big fan
the
of just
checkered flag.
million
the Firehouse place.
that and Penelope's.
Penelope's. They're all the
Penelope's.
same to me.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. Omaha food and Omaha restaurants and the quantity and quality of it is way greater
Yeah, everyone knows that.
than way great.
We discussed this, I think, literally a week ago.
I can't say it enough though. Like I love Omaha food. I'm just satisfied wherever I go.
Shout out to food.
I go to 78th and Dodge. Or
Wonder who
78th
has the
and
best
Cass.
lasagna in Omaha.
Ooh.
Is there anybody claiming that?
What La Casa's over there? La Casa might have a good lasagna. They have.
I don't think
really
I've
good
ever had
pizza.
La Casa
I've never heard
lasagna.
anyone claim the best lasagna.
Yeah.
Somebody should claim that.
That's an open market. Maybe we make a lasagna restaurant. We call it Happer's
A
Lasagna.
lot of
We
work.
could do breakfast lasagnas.
We could do.
I am interested.
We
in
could
this
do
breakfast.
Mexican lasagna.
How about we just make a restaurant where everything is a lasagna?
That's interesting. People have done that with casserole before, which is a similar concept.
Yeah.
Everything is casserole,
Yeah.
which
The
I love
difference-
that.
I'm a big.
The difference in a
Calzone,
casserole, like a casserole, is largely a dump, whereas lasagna is layered. So there's more of a
There's a nuance to it.
effort to the lasagna.
What if we did like
Okay.
a Greek lasagna where it was just like
Sweet.
tzatziki sauce, thin pita, shredded gyro.
Love it.
Oh, and put a little maybe chopped tomato.
Sounds awesome.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
That sound.
Where do the blintzes fit in?
For dessert. I'll be. I love restaurants where it's like
Sauter said Manja does have good lasagna.
Yeah,
Manja's good at everything.
I love
Manja. I had Manja pizza last night.
I love
Okay.
restaurants.
Go Jays.
They have it at the games there?
They usually have the lasagna and the tortellini, but they just had pizza last night.
For the real people, not the riffraff.
Yeah.
No, it's for the riffraff.
The riffraff can buy it?
No, they can get it for free. Matt can have it. He's riffraff.
I'm not riffraff. I wear a
How
vest.
is Matt getting manja at the
The
Clayton
220 boys can get.
No,
manja.
not like
That-
the normal
Yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's what Josh and I were getting
Yeah.
at.
Oh, okay.
The
yeah.
real people.
No,
Matt
those people
is
cannot
definitely
get Manja.
riffraff. I get that.
I'm not riffraff at
You
all.
have a stain on your sweatshirt.
Where?
You look like riffraff.
Dang it.
Sorry, what was your idea?
I love restaurants that have like little mini restaurants within the big restaurant. So it's like you go in and like you have the restaurant, but then they have like, oh yeah, that's Cindy's Bakery. That's like in the back. Like it's a part of it's
Like Crescent Moon in the German place?
basically, yeah. I mean, it's just
Not
like
at all.
it's just but like it's a little like clearly like the desserts are eating.
What is
are
that place
from-
called
I don't know.
downstairs?
I know what you're talking about.
Something very. If I attempted to guess what it was called, it would not probably sound good for me. But it's very German.
Something downstairs.
It's not downstairs at all. It's like
no
a German
one ever
word.
says that they're going to that place. They're just like, we're going to the Crescent Moon. We'll be downstairs.
Yes, correct. The one
That
time
is
I went
true.
there.
Like no one says the direct name of the place that you're.
It's
talking
like something house.
Huber House.
Huber House.
Yeah, I've never.
Nobody
we just
ever
go to the
calls it
moon and
that.
Goes downstairs. I'm saying what we can do is we can make a restaurant called Happerza, and then in the back it's
Hapza.
Hapza, and then it's like, oh yeah, our desserts actually come from McBlintz's, and I just make blintzes in the back of your
You're now
lasagna
McBlintzes?
restaurant.
Interesting.
Maybe.
I like that. I would take it up a level. I would say like I'm a whatever restaurant, and then I toss pizzas on the side.
Oh,
You know,
Nebraska 98 Pats, right?
I got a fire oven back there.
You ever have a pasticcio?
No,
It's like it's basically Greek lasagna.
Mm.
It's awesome.
A
It's like meat
pasticcio.
and it's like pasta, but it's not like a flat layer. It's like they're noodles and stuff.
Color me intrigued.
that sounds dope.
Dude,
So it's a pasta.
but it's stacked. It's like more like circle noodles as opposed to like, a flat
Okay.
sheet.
I'm interested.
And it's like got like a meat and like kind of like tomato cream sauce. Ugh. Coño.
Albino
It's so good.
Tornado says, I have an opinion. Baked ziti with broiled mozzarella on top is way better than lasagna. It's
What?
it's not lasagna because it doesn't have lasagna noodles, but it's lasagna in a sense, right? It's just baked pasta with
Yeah.
it's
cheese.
in the neighborhood.
I
of
think
lasagna.
I think they're cousins.
It's not
Yeah.
living at the same.
It's not
address.
lasagna because
Yeah.
it doesn't have the
But they
lasagna.
It's in the neighborhood.
But they ride their bikes and they come over a lot, basically they can just walk in the house whenever they want and nobody's gonna like get mad about it.
Can Baked Ziti walk into lasagna's house?
Whenever they want. It is Poll Question Thursday. We can
They
put
know
that up
each other. What's Poll Question Thursday?
It's the
where-
thing Matt's forcing.
Yeah. It was supposed
get
Among
thrown
the
under the
many
bus.
things. What, so,
Well, he gave me an inch and I took a mile. How
So-
about that?
okay,
here's
so
what happened.
do you only do poll questions on Thursdays?
we only read them on Thursdays.
The original intention was we would only do them on Thursday, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to do them.
And he just does them anyway. It's really I've established that I didn't want to do the poll questions, and then it just turned.
He
into,
is the executive producer. You must respect him.
That's not
I
true at
allow
all.
I allow him to do it. It's just on Thursdays we read them. I don't think
You
it
don't
was-
allow him to do anything.
He allows you to be on air.
It's one of those things though where it's like I thought poll question Thursday would be a compromise for us to not do the poll questions throughout the week, but only do it on Thursday as a bit, and then it became we just do.
Do you
it
like the
anyway.
poll questions? Do you don't like the like the
No,
poll
I
questions?
like them, but I just wanted to be different from the Connor Happer show.
Smart.
I just kind of wanted to that was a staple of your show, and I don't want to be your show. I want to be my show.
I love that.
So it's just like I didn't really want to do them, but Josh doesn't. It's fine.
I thought you were fighting for them though in the divorce.
No, I don't
court.
think I fought for them.
Oh, okay.
We'd have to check the tape.
Yeah. Get the gavel back out.
All right, let's play a game. You want to do that thing where you give us an actor and we try and say the first movie we think of?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't prepared, but I obviously know the names
Okay.
of people, so I can do this. I can step right into
I
this.
thought we were having a good conversation about lasagna.
What? So no F and Ziti?
El Scorcho said Bailey's has an amazing breakfast lasagna. You can only get it to go though.
Casey's breakfast pizza is overrated.
Great take.
Yeah, I
Matt,
think it's pretty good.
Why-
Incredibly overrated.
why can I only get this restaurant item to go?
It's a great question. I don't know the rules.
They might only make it in a way that is to go.
Maybe it's a
they
take and
just
bake.
Don't serve it.
Okay.
That actually probably makes more
Maybe
sense.
it's a take and bake.
Okay.
I started my reasoning and it made no sense to me as I was saying it. Happer saved me.
You're
I'm
welcome.
just going to point that out.
I wish I had somebody.
I was going to flounder there.
Josh just tossed you right under them.
Wow, that was really awkward, that thing you just did.
Yeah. No, yeah, Matt's trying to force it.
How about I clip it and put it on social media?
great idea.
Bailey's is a good breakfast spot, by the way.
It is.
Just in general.
Yes.
Good
Went
good
there
food
once.
over there.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Leo DiCaprio. First movie, go.
Great Gatsby.
There are no wrong answers, but that's not the right answer.
Catch Me If You Can, which is a very me answer, but
Yeah.
it's.
You gotta be quicker than that. We gotta.
It's possible.
I was actually just trying to remember the name of the movie because all I could think of was
Yeah.
dun-dun-dun.
Knowing the way his brain works, it's not like the movie title is going to be the first thing he thinks of. It's going to be a scene.
Nailed it.
And then he has to work from the scene
You
to
got
the
it.
name of the movie.
You got it.
I will teach you in the ways of how Happer's brain works.
I'm still trying to get there. I speak pretty good Happer. I have noticed too.
The scene, by the way, was when he finally got caught by Tom Hanks, but he escaped, and then
What was your urge
Hand ratty.
to just shout hand ratty?
Hand
when
ratty.
He said Leonardo DiCaprio.
yeah,
All right, you guys ready for the next one?
yeah,
Yes.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
I got one. It's that one where he was the psycho ambulance chaser guy.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Spider-Man: Far From Home.
What about you, Shafe? What's your Jake Gyllenhaal?
For Jake Gyllenhaal, it's probably Jarhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I loved. And I
Good
often
movie.
would tell people it's my favorite war movie, and they would get very mad at me.
So effectively, this is just Family Feud. Like,
To be-
Kind of.
so
Mm.
what would be the most
man.
popular
Is there
answer?
a way that we could somehow devise this where we get people to respond?
Yeah.
And then you
Survey
guys get
says.
points based off of what, but then you're working to what the most popular answer is, not your immediate
Yeah.
answer, which isn't necessarily
reason I-
Not the point of the game. That's
the reason
true.
it took so long is I almost said 3 Ryan Gosling
That's incredible.
movies. I was
Gosling is so much better than Jake Gyllenhaal.
I was like Crazy Stupid Love. Wait, no, wrong one.
Nope, he was not in that.
All right.
Did I see that Gosling is hosting SNL soon?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
He's got a movie coming out. He's got to promote.
That's true. The Hail
Oh.
Mary thing.
hmm
Project Hail Mary.
Yes.
Great movie.
You finished.
You saw it?
You finished.
A great
all of it?
book. Great book.
Oh,
You finished all of it.
I did.
Nice.
I'm almost done with Dark Matter.
Oh wow, you've been going through things fast.
Yeah, I got about 4 hours left.
what's it about? What's the Project Hail Mary?
Basically, we find
This will be fun.
that there's an organism in space that is considered alien life that is what it does, it eats the sun, right? Basically it harvests like the rays of the sun and it eats the sun, and it basically takes away sunlight from Earth. And so it basically they find out that these organisms are going to take away 10% of the sunlight from Earth, and that would cause like the Earth to no longer exist. Like 99% of life would no longer cease to exist. And so they're trying to find a way to like figure this out, but they don't know how to. And then so their Hail Mary project is to send a spacecraft on I'm not going to spoil it, but send a spacecraft out to find out how can they defeat this organism that's eating the sun, because they find one star.
Cool.
They find one star that's not getting eaten by this organism. And so they're like, why is that one star not getting eaten by this organism?
It's Pluribus.
Yes.
It's basically pluribus.
Next Saturday, Gosling House.
Hell yeah.
With musical guest Gorillas.
Whoa. Like the Gorillas? Like those guys?
The
like,
Gorillas?
huh?
Yeah.
I don't know one song from them.
Huh.
They're not Megan Trainor level good,
No,
apparently.
they're not. They don't have 3 hits.
They got that one song.
They got Clint Eastwood.
Meryl
That's
Streep.
it. That's it. That's the one.
The Post.
Devil Wears Prada. Pretty simply there.
Connor probably got the number one answer.
I would imagine so.
God,
Is that the number one Meryl Streep answer, or just a
No, you
people?
can-
Most
I
popular.
guess it would depend on the age of the person
Yeah.
you're asking. Yeah, but
Because I mean, she's had a long career,
Yeah.
and what she's in Mamma Mia, right? Like,
Mamma
there's people that are
Mia.
gonna
Yeah.
say that. There's, all of that.
she's in Little Women too. Aunt Marge.
She's in many, many movies.
She's in a lot of movies.
and she's very good at what she does. Tom
She's-
Hanks.
Oh man, there's too many, but I mean,
Toy Story.
I feel a responsibility to go to the most me movie, which is of course The Terminal. Yeah.
Every time that the promo
I go New
plays
York.
of you reading the Sindelar email of
Castaway. Does it
and
get
then the
you?
moment where it dawns on you that you have been had.
Yeah, it got what? I had to go all the way to Wilson. Like I found a volleyball.
Yeah, you almost got all the way but not
Met the love
quite.
of my I work for a logistics company and met the love of my life and had to go away quickly at the Christmas party.
I never
The
seen it.
transatlantic flight. It's the way your voice inflects, and then there's that moment where
You're like,
oh,
that's
it's
Castaway. Which
And then-
Castaway was probably the actual answer if we were really playing the game for Tom Hanks.
For me, it's Forrest Gump. It's always going to be Forrest Gump.
Yeah, it's not for me. I don't even think of. I just think of Forrest Gump as Forrest Gump. You know,
You
like
think-
Tom Hanks is
you-
not an
you think
actor in
For-
that
I
movie.
love that.
He's just Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump is playing
What's the
Forrest
first
Gump.
movie you think of with Forrest Gump?
Forrest Gump.
The Alabama football team.
No, we had a famous incident with
yes.
Philadelphia one time.
Oh, I didn't know.
No, it's okay. It's really funny.
I might need a list of things to just avoid that there's incidents around.
No, it wasn't an
I wish I
incident.
had that list
It was
too.
just a classic misunderstanding and a movie mix-up by yours truly.
I would have enjoyed a list of things to avoid or to know or to not say.
I
Like,
ain't-
hey, Doug, you work at a bank?
I incorrectly thought, just my brain thought that I was explaining the plot of Big, and then I said it was Philadelphia, which it was not, obviously. So there's the
somehow Livy
incident.
Dunn got wrapped up in it as well.
How did Olivia Dunn get wrapped
I
up
don't
in
remember.
Not sure. Was that the day that we discovered that she was trying to buy Babe Ruth's apartment?
Probably.
Yeah.
That was recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty recent.
Mamma mia.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You guys want more?
Yeah.
One
Because
or two.
I might have in-flight entertainment today.
Jim Carrey.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Dumb and Dumber.
I think Bruce Almighty is the first thing I thought.
Wow.
Wildly. But it's also because you said that's the way the cookie crumbles earlier.
I did say that.
And I always enjoyed that line. I like that movie actually a lot.
Bruce Almighty's fine.
Okay.
What about
Isn't that where Morgan Freeman's God?
It's the perfect role.
what's the one where he's with Zoe Deschanel?
The Mask?
Yes, man.
Yes, man.
You hear
That
Zooey
is not
Deschanel?
Zoe
I was
Deschanel.
making a joke.
That would be Cameron Diaz.
You know what?
Stop.
Here's the problem with you. You get
Stop.
called out on things and then you claim that it's a joke.
That was
Or a
an
bit.
obvious joke.
Or
And
that
I,
you're-
just-
It's a
I know that
bit.
Zoe Deschanel wasn't in The Mask.
You
I'm an idiot, but I'm not a dumbass.
You thought The Godfather happened in the 90s.
All right, who cares? It doesn't matter if it happened in 78 or 90 to me. It does not compute. It does
What
not.
I'm
it
getting
I
at-
thought
doesn't
Yes
make a
Man was
difference.
pretty funny.
What I'm getting at is there's a possibility that you might actually think that Zoe Deschanel is Cameron Diaz.
I can't believe that you think so lowly of me. Cameron Diaz, bad teacher.
You're Googling her right now.
I changed. No, I'm not.
I'm saying.
Cameron Diaz, Annie.
Cameron Diaz, if we did Cameron
There's
Diaz,
something about Mary.
it might be
Ooh.
Charlie's Angels for me.
Okay.
It's also probably the only Lucy Liu movie I could name.
Definitely, if you did Lucy Liu, it would be that. Yes. If you did Drew Barrymore,
Kill Bill.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you did Drew
I
Barrymore, it'd
wouldn't
be
have gotten
50
there,
First
though.
Dates. I love 50 First Dates.
You do love
I watch 50 First Dates a lot.
You remind me so much of my buddy Brian, who played college baseball. Like you two are just.
We're all idiots.
I know, because he also loves 50
We're
First
all
Dates.
Matthew McConaughey.
Ooh.
Dallas Buyers Club.
What is one Matthew
Okay.
McConaughey movie?
Come on.
Fast Times.
What's the one? What's the one that
It's not Fast Times.
It's
though.
not the one he's in.
You're. I know what you're thinking.
The
but
other
it's-
one. The other high
Dazed and-
school
Dazed
80s
and
movie.
Confused.
Dazed and Confused. I
All
always
right.
I always confuse them.
What's the
Every time.
what's
They're the
Mc-
same movie to
what's
me,
the
much like Twister and Jurassic Park.
What's the McConaughey what's the McConaughey movie with that he's in with all the dwarves? He's on with all the tiny people.
Trolls?
No. He's in a tiny person movie.
Whoa. Okay.
What do you mean
Right.
by
Are
tiny
you sure
person?
on this?
I
Yes.
hope you're right.
Are you thinking about Downsizing starring Matt Damon?
No.
This feels
Tiptoes. He's in
Tiptoes.
Tiptoes. It's Matthew McConaughey meets a woman. He brings him to her family, and she finds out that all of his siblings and his entire family, they're all dwarves.
This is a
Whoa.
movie.
Yeah.
This is a movie with Peter Dinklage, Kate Beckinsale, Gary Oldman, Patricia Arquette, David Allen Greer.
When did this come out?
Whoa.
2002. Yeah,
So
it's
this
great.
is before the McConaughey.
You guys have to
Mhm.
see the trailer of like she finds out that all of his
because there's no way this
relatives are
movie
tiny
gets
people.
made anytime recent.
no. This is 25.
There's
Has a
no way
4.2 on
McConaughey is in that
IMDb.
Yeah, this is like pre when he actually started making
Yeah,
good
the
movies again.
Reconnaissance.
The
Mhm.
Reconnaissance, yes.
Tiptoes.
That's what you go. Wow, that's
No,
just really
he said
interesting.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh yeah, you did.
Was
to be
that
fair.
him in Marley and Me?
no, that's Owen Wilson.
Dude,
Ah!
Stibbs knows. Stibbs knows. He goes, watch the trailer on air. You won't regret it. It's one of the craziest trailers you'll ever see.
Oh yeah, Stibbs definitely has seen this movie.
It
I-
is.
I don't even know what the movie is, and he's
insane.
seen it. Yeah.
It's insane. It's like Gary Oldman in a role of a lifetime. So
Woody
good.
Harrelson.
Now you see me.
White Men Can't Jump.
Kingpin.
Nice.
Nice. Now
Yeah.
you see me.
Yeah. He's like the.
Is
I
he
have it
in
on-
all of those. Or
I have it
just
on-
the first one.
I saw the
Mhm.
first two. I did not see the third one.
I have an ongoing debate with my wife on if we have seen that movie, and I still am not sure.
Now you see me.
But my argument is no. I don't think I have. I get
the
it.
argument has two sides. Happer is on the no side.
Yep. I get
She
it.
is on the yes side.
Yeah.
You see, Dan Hurley yesterday. They're like, "Hey, Donovan Klingon, he got married. You have a message for him?" He goes, "Yeah, get ready to apologize."
Nice.
Very Hurley answer.
Classic married man answer.
Did you see Rick Pitino's press conference? Barely.
What happened?
Lasted
Nothing?
longer than that one thing he did.
There it
that one
was.
time.
There it was. It did.
All right, we'll do one more.
Not by much though.
No.
Do one more. Did you submit, by the way, your
No, I'm gonna do that right after
All
the
right.
show. Okay.
12:45?
One more. Let's go with a comedic actor. Let's go with someone that Matt feels so strongly about that he hates Will Smith for it. Chris Rock.
Grown-ups.
Is Chris Rock in movies? I don't really know Chris Rock from movies.
He's not really.
He's in a few.
What? Give me some Chris Rock movies.
Madagascar.
No,
There's one where he becomes the president of the United States.
Head of state.
Yep, that
Never
was the
seen
one
it.
that I thought of.
never seen it.
Jigsaw.
The way that Josh got that right away.
Did that come out in
Josh
the
has
period
seen
of
the
time where
movie.
all the presidential movies came out?
Yeah, everybody was being a president.
Yeah,
Channing
all of-
Tatum,
Robin Williams.
Channing
No, Head of State was before that.
Okay.
Head of State, I was like still in middle school or high school.
What, you didn't like that Channing Tatum?
Oh,
White
I
House
did like the
movie?
Channing Tatum White
That's
House
a
movie.
great Channing
Jamie
Tatum.
Foxx is the president in that movie.
And it's always the president who's the bad guy. I feel like.
Is that how that turned out?
Yeah, or was it the vice president was the bad guy? That's
That
what it
makes
is.
more
It's always the
sense.
VP who's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Who's the,
Give me some more Chris Rock movies.
who played Harvey Dent?
He's in a movie called Too Cool.
No, never seen it. Never heard of it even.
He's in a movie, The Five, I think.
Top 5.
Top 5.
That was a very good one.
Never seen it.
The
The guy who played Harvey Dent, his name is
Aaron Eckhart.
Aaron Eckhart.
He's a great president in
Yeah,
movies.
very good.
Longest
Light.
Yard.
Oh, there you go. I have seen that, but that's not like a Chris Rock movie.
Bad Company with Anthony Hopkins. It was like
He's
an
in
action.
more movies than you
No.
think.
Yeah. Pootie
He-
Tang, of course.
I haven't seen Pootie.
Isn't he
Tang.
like?
He's just stopped being sort of a comedian to largely be in movies.
Oh, here's my Dogma.
That can't be your answer if you needed to read through a
That-
list.
That's true. Lethal
lo-
Weapon 4.
He's actually really good in The Longest Yard. He's like probably the second most important character in The Longest Yard. Second or third.
What? What do you think is the most important?
The Sandler.
Paul Crew? What about the prison guard? What about the warden? What about
The warden is important.
what about the big guy who
Stone
plays
Cold,
ping
Stone
pong?
Cold Steve Austin.
What
pretty
about
important.
Nelly?
Yeah, what about Nelly? He
Nelly's
was
pretty
dope.
great,
He
yeah.
was cold running back, dude. Oh my god.
The smile you
What?
had
I
when you thought
believed
about
it.
Nelly in that movie was great.
What?
You were
That's
excited
how-
to go back in time. Think about Nelly as a running back.
Nelly
He was so good.
See, I wasn't really alive or like, very conscious during the Nelly era of life, but I feel like he was
Most
just a
weren't
dope.
conscious during it.
He
I was
just-
conscious
He just looked like a dope guy. Looked like a really cool.
He was.
with
cool.
a band-aid on his
He was
eye.
big
Yeah.
with Band-Aids.
All right. Well,
Getting texts through his Excel spreadsheet from Kelly Rowland.
I don't remember that time.
They did that song together, and in the music video, she sends him a text, but it's clearly an Excel document.
Wow. That's very 2002 of them.
very.
Yeah.
That's
true.
the crossover, powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Good episode of Middays with Matt coming up next. Middays with Matt, live and rolling here on a very nice Thursday morning, which will turn into an afternoon here on 1620 The Zone. It's about like 50 degrees when I got in my car today. It was that nice little, it was a little cold. It was a little brisk, but it wasn't,
But it's going to burn off quick.
I got in the car and I said, you know what? Because of the lack of wind, I could have gone to the driving range today.
Oh.
That was my immediate thought, but I will not be able to. I will be on a plane right after the show today, going back home.
After. No crossover.
No crossover.
Didn't even volunteer me to be in your stead.
Whoa. Did you want to be in my stead?
If it feels like 30 minutes, I could be working instead, but I would have done it.
I think the Unsportsmanlike Conduct crew is good. I think they're
very good, yeah.
I think they're experienced enough and probably have their own crossover type of topics where they can get through about half an hour without me. I think they're going to be fine. You guys will be fine tomorrow as well from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. because we will have Austin Jacobson sitting in the chair that I am sitting in. 4 hours of Austin tomorrow. Middays with Austin, if you will. So
doesn't have the same ring to it, but
no, it doesn't. It doesn't it? he just or afternoons with Austin.
AM with Austin.
AM with Austin.
AM with AJ.
Are you already workshopping my replacement?
No, I put him in other time slots.
Wow, you're already thinking of different names and rebranding. Absolutely ridiculous. We haven't even been together for 2 months. Crazy.
That's right.
Should be good tomorrow. Austin will be in. He'll have to find somebody other than himself to be the guest at 1 o'clock. So we'll see how that works.
He's down a guest.
He is down a guest. Maybe I call in at 1 o'clock. Maybe I bring my things and I'm an own interview on my own show.
Boots on the ground.
I definitely wouldn't be able to talk about high school sports like we typically do at 1 o'clock, but should be a good show tomorrow. Should be a very good show today. We are going to talk about hoops from across the country. St. John's put an absolute butt whooping. Got a butt whooping by UConn yesterday.
Whoa. I checked the score about halfway through the second half. I was surprised.
Do you think that Dan Hurley is going to write a thank you letter to Creighton?
Thanks for waking us up.
Yes. Thank you for beating us because we almost got beat so many times this season. Almost got beat by Providence. Almost got beat by Villanova. Kind of had an uncomfortably close game against Butler. Thank you for actually finishing the job so it could be a kick in the ass for my group, for them to realize that they're not invincible and it's not sustainable that they're always in these close games and they can actually play a physical brand of basketball, because that's exactly what they did yesterday. They bullied the bully. They bullied the bully. I mean, they dominated the paint against St. John's. They made St. John's take a ton of threes, and then they missed like 24 straight shots to end the game. It was absolutely insane. Rick Pitino, take him to you-know-what in casinos. Wasn't happy. Wasn't a happy man. I was thinking that I was like, if we're going to get a repeat at all of one of our favorite drops, I thought we were going to get a repeat of this yesterday.
That would have been an upgrade from what we did get.
It actually would have been better to jump in. That would have been funny if he said that. He's like, my team was just better off jumping into a pile of coal and dying of frostbite than playing the way they did tonight.
Like if that was his crutch phrase.
Frostbite is like Rick Pitino's go-to in terms of death.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the most painful death that Rick can think of? Dying of frostbite?
Maybe for him, yeah.
Maybe.
I hadn't thought of that.
Because he is a smaller human, so maybe he'd be able to get his head fully under. You know, when 3 feet of snow gets dropped in the East Coast, Rick has to, like...
That's true.
We're on Rick watch. He's got to be careful, because that'll go up, like, to his chest.
Mm-hmm.
We'd
hate to lose Rick Pitino.
We would.
In any fashion, let alone...
frostbite.
He's just in the snow. He's buried in there.
He's like, what was that Bill Murray movie, Scrooged?
Yeah.
Where they find him in the future and he's just like frozen with like a watch, like in the sewer. You know, this is your future if you continue down the path. We just find that with Rick Pitino. Incredible performance yesterday from UConn. Dominates St. John's. Proves that, and I think we were trending in the direction of, wow, okay, St. John's might be taking the mantle as the team to beat in the Big East tournament. St. John's might, the tide might be turning in the Big East, where for the entire season it feels like the Red Storm were chasing the Huskies, but after this 13-game winning streak, which started after they lost a very puzzling game to Providence, the Red Storm, maybe we're starting to turn the tide, that the Big East is St. John's conference, and that this is going to be the moment where St. John's gets another big win against UConn, sweeps them in the regular season, and puts themselves in the top 16 seed conversation. Nope. UConn reestablishes themselves, and they have been the vulnerable 1 seed, right? I mean, if we've been looking at a 1 seed that is going to relinquish that title right before the NCAA tournament, I think everybody is kind of looking at UConn, because I think Arizona's good and Michigan's good and Duke is good. I think those three are almost locks to be 1 seeds at this point. UConn was the one team where I think teams like Iowa State and Houston look at UConn and say, okay, we can maybe steal that mantle from them. A 32-point victory against one of the best teams in the country is going to keep you locked into that number 1 seed. It's a big win yesterday for Dan Hurley's UConn team. But we got to talk about DePaul and Creighton. We have to talk about Nebraska versus Maryland. Two very different results, two pretty different games. DePaul and Creighton, practically even. I don't know if you looked at the split box score. But I mean, it was these two teams in terms of stats were basically the same in points per paint, the same in rebounds, similar in turnovers. Creighton actually had an advantage on the offensive boards and second chance points. These two teams, DePaul and Creighton, they took the same amount of shots, 56 shots each. DePaul made 3 more, but Creighton made 5 more free throws, which is why you have the 1-point discrepancy. 72-71 was the score in Omaha. Josh, have you ever seen this before where two teams play each other in one season and the score and the result are the exact same? DePaul defeated Creighton 72-71 in Chicago, and they defeated Creighton 72-71 in Omaha. It was the same exact score and result in both games.
I'm sure it has happened. I do
It's happened before,
I
for
do
sure.
not recall it.
I've never seen that before. Nebraska played Maryland yesterday. What was a sluggish start for the Cornhuskers turned into the faucet being turned on in the second half. And then, yesterday's game looked a lot like the Penn State game. A pretty lackluster offensive performance in the first half that is then redeemed by a very quality second half offensive performance, yet a little bit different. Bryce Sanford didn't get going as much as he did yesterday as he did against Penn State, but Braden Frager looking like he's finally getting healthy from that ankle injury. We're seeing him use his speed and shiftiness more, the speed and shiftiness that he used against Ohio State and Michigan State, which led Nebraska to 2 key victories on their NCAA tournament resume. And we also saw Sam Hoiberg just be Sam Hoiberg. And it begs the question, who is Nebraska basketball going to miss more next season? Sam Hoiberg or Rink Mask? I think that's a legitimate conversation. I think and I know Mask is supposed to be the superstar, and I know Mask is supposed to be the straw that stirs the drink, but there also is the argument of how many players do as many things as Sam Hoiberg does as efficiently as number one does. And how many people really connect with the fan base as well as Sam Hoiberg does? Who's more replaceable? We'll talk about that because I think it's a legitimate conversation to be had. Who's more replaceable, or who's going to be harder to replace, number one or number 51 for Nebraska basketball? The NFL Combine begins today. Everybody's favorite. Everybody loves the Combine, right?
Ooh,
not really.
No.
I think it's a very give and take.
Okay.
I think I think the Combine has its faction. It has its group. The Combine's a little bit like Nickelback. Do you like Nickelback?
Okay.
You really like Nickelback. And you make it a point to tell people that Nickelback is good. And you've been to their concerts and you listen to their songs and they're an accomplished band and you only hate on Nickelback to hate on Nickelback. I think the Combine is the same way. I think there are some people just go, who cares? Who cares how fast they run? Just watch the tape. And then there are the people like Michael Severe who are going to have a notebook and a pen and are going to have this thing on the entire day and write their own evaluations.
Are some guys running the 40? Yeah, if there's nothing else on, I'll glance at the TV.
It's
Sure.
definitely become a social media thing. Like the NFL loves the combine for social media purposes. They love taking, impressive scores and,
Look at
cool
this, look at
throws
this.
and funny routes and like good 40s. And they love spamming it all over social media. I actually think, there's value. There's totally value to the combine. We'll talk about it. Warren Sharp, who's some football guy that I love, who I read a ton of, dropped a super informative article about what actually matters at the combine. Like what for each position, what have we seen historically matter? What measurables are you looking for in each specific position that could potentially tell you more about them? And, obviously the measurables are very important. Size, length, hand size, vertical. Just all that type of stuff has really played into it. So the combine begins today. We will keep an eye on that. We also had a trade today in the NFL. Your Tennessee Titans
Making
shipping
moves.
off T'Vondre Sweat. I like T'Vondre Sweat. I thought T'Vondre Sweat was a pretty decent defensive lineman, but they sent him over to the New York Jets to get Jermaine Johnson, who is a guy that Robert Saleh is familiar with, who understands Robert Saleh's system, and also too opens up a need for Tennessee to go and get a pass rusher. If David Bailey is still there, do they get him? Arvell Reese is there. Do they go and get him? Do they reach for a Reuben Bain, or is it really reaching for Reuben Bain? Some people are asking. So Tennessee kind of setting themselves up to support their defensive head coach with a defensive stud in the draft. I got an email yesterday about Matt Rule. Ooh, I want to read it. I want to talk about it because I think it's very interesting, and I went down a rabbit hole of my own thoughts. Some people go down a rabbit hole on YouTube and they watch different videos and they get caught up in documentaries and topics. I just went on a rabbit hole of all the thoughts that I've had previously about Matt Rule and things that are talked about. We're also going to talk about a topic that unsportsmanlike conduct talked about, and I think bodes kind of well into the conversation we're going to have about this email in regards to Matt Rule and Bob Chesney. I'll be honest with you. When I was scrolling on my email at 8 p.m. last night, I did not think I was going to get a UCLA head football coach centered email. But I did, and we're going to read it on the air. We're going to talk about that and have some great conversation about it. Also, I'm not a big mock trade guy because nowadays the mock trade market is definitely just crowded by fans who are playing fan fiction. It's just swarmed by fans who just want superstars on their teams and thinks for whatever reason that another team is going to take their scrubs and a couple of picks that won't really matter.
Oh, Miami Heat fans. Got it.
Yes. The Miami Heat. Thank you, Josh Hodson.
Giannis for Tyler Hero. Who says no?
The amount of Tyler Hero, and he's no longer on the team, but when he was on the team, Duncan Robinson getting shipped off everywhere for every good player was so stupid. And now it's turned into, Jaime Jaquez as well as getting traded everywhere along with Tyler Hero. It was funny. Terry Rozier was always a part of those trade conversations as well. And then,
he always gets traded.
Yeah. Well, that kind of settled itself, if you will.
I feel like SGA for Bam Adebayo would be pretty even. Both sides would just really agree to it pretty quick.
So mid. But so Baymon goes, mock trades are one of the stupidest things people do. I agree, Baymon. I agree. I sent this one to Josh Hodson, though, yesterday. It was percolating thoughts. Okay. It was a good one. And I think it also too relates to a lot of the things that we're talking about now in the NFL. And it relates back to Sam Darnold, and it relates back to Baker Mayfield. And it's going to relate back to a guy like Malik Willis, who apparently the rumors are swirling at the combine read an article earlier in the week that said Malik Willis's range is going to be anywhere between the Justin Fields deal, which was 22, and the Baker Mayfield deal, which was 33 million. Apparently at the combine, it's like a foregone conclusion that Malik Willis is going to go for $30+ million. Which is...
You can be a legend on the field or a legend at the bank.
Is this going to be Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield 2.0, or will it be Brock Osweiler 2.0?
Feels a little Matt Flynn, Brock Osweiler.
Will it be Sam Bradford 2.0?
Yeah.
Remember when the Arizona Cardinals gave him that massive ass contract? I mean,
I do.
I was going to say, would it be Mike Glennon 2.0, but the Bears only paid him $16 million in the last 3 games. So probably won't be that bad.
That neck just couldn't hold up.
Well, they drafted Mitchell Trubisky is what happened. Instead of taking Jamal Adams, which they should have done. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, we don't have to talk about the Bears today, but they are going to trade Tremaine Edmonds, which is probably good for both sides. Get the contract off the books, but at this point, I think most teams, if they actually think they can get Tremaine Edmonds, they're probably just going to wait for the Bears to release him. So we'll see what happens there. But got a good show for you today. Got the Paul versus Great. Got the Huskers versus Maryland. Going to talk about Sam Hoiberg. Going to talk about Rink Mass. We're going to talk about the Combine. We'll give you updates as that goes along today. We're also going to talk about Matt Rule and the thoughts that people are having about them and the thoughts that are stemming from emails, and along with what have we learned about quarterbacks in the NFL as of late? And should the Las Vegas Raiders take that into consideration when they're deciding to draft Fernando Mendoza this draft season? All that and more on a fun episode. We have the odd news at 11:45. We have Stephen M. Sipple at 11 o'clock. We have This Week in Women's History.
I don't love the title of this, for the record.
Why?
I don't know. Seems a little too edgy. But that's what we're doing.
No, we're just educating
people.
me.
About important women throughout pop culture history.
Yes. We also will have Lauren Michaelson on today at 1:15. A very important woman in sport in Omaha radio.
Absolutely.
We can workshop the name.
No, I think the name is fine. I just makes me nervous,
Why does it make you nervous?
I don't know.
We're just educating.
That's all we're trying to do. Just trying to make people smarter.
My friend Connor is in the chat, and he's the only DePaul Blue Demon fan.
My friend Connor's on the way to career day.
Oh, yes. Shout out Morton
Panthers.
Middle School. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Can we get the Northwestern Wildcat Cougar on the drop board here? And every time we have a good comment, we'll call it a first down and play it.
I could make that happen. Sure.
Every time Matt has a good take, we'll go first down.
Charles is asking if Lauren will curse on air.
I don't know. We had some more cursing yesterday on the air in the on the Creighton game. So should be
people.
I know, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. You know what will be ridiculous? This show. We're gonna have a good time today here on 1620 Zone. We'll talk about some college basketball coming up next on Middays with Matt.
Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
The Big East standings got all jumbled yesterday.
What's gonna happen?
I've spoiled myself with the Big 12 conference standings. And I'm like a 2-team race between UConn and St. John's, respectfully to the Big East. Doesn't really interest me.
Oh no.
I've been spoiled. It's like, when you have a great lasagna, you just can't have a great breakfast anymore.
That's right.
As Connor Happer would say.
That's the exact thing I was thinking of.
Like when I'm looking at the Big 12 standings and I see 4 teams tied at 11-4, and one of them is a 1 seed, 2 of them are 2 seeds, and the fourth one is a projected 3 seed. Like that immediately kind of dulls the Big East standings picture where it goes, yeah, UConn 16-2, St. John's 15-2, and then who the hell cares after that? Where Creighton right now sitting 5th in the Big East Conference standings. Now that is very important because you get that initial bye in the first round of the Big East Conference tournament. And at this point, it's been known for quite a while. I mean, our very own Josh Hodson canceled the Creighton Blue Jay basketball team. I mean, a couple of weeks ago.
That's right.
If Creighton is going to make the NCAA tournament, they have to win the Big East tournament. Do you know how it's easier to win the Big East tournament? When you don't have to play as many games. When you get a bye. And so after DePaul's win against Creighton yesterday, which I cannot understate how big of a win that is for that program, okay? We talked about it yesterday. Only 3 times in DePaul Blue Demon basketball history have they won 7 or more games since joining the Big East in 2005. They've never had a first-round bye in the Big East Conference tournament in the 20 years that they've been a part of the league, okay? They went 11 years without beating Creighton. They beat them twice in one season, okay? I mean, Chris Holtman, I know that when he was brought in for DePaul, it was wow, they actually are going to have a professional coach. Like, they're actually going to have a guy who has won before, knows what he's doing. And it was a monumental win yesterday for that program that now, though, still has to take care of business. So to end the season, DePaul plays Marquette, Villanova, and Butler. Okay. If they win out, if they end up going 10-10, it does not matter what Creighton does against Providence or Butler. DePaul will be the 5 seed because they will have the head-to-head tiebreaker after going 2-0 against the Blue Jays. If DePaul loses one and Creighton wins out, then Creighton will be the 5 seed. That's what you really need to know. St. John's and UConn, at this point, I believe UConn will have the tiebreaker over St. John's after yesterday's win because the head-to-head matchups now are even. St. John's still, though, is a half game back from UConn. So that's kind of what the Big East standings is looking for. Some pretty big game on the bubble yesterday. Iowa ended up defeating Ohio State. I referenced that Borzello column I was reading yesterday, Josh, about teams that and coaches that might potentially be on the hot seat and we have to look out for. One guy whose name was on there was Jake Diebler, the head coach for Ohio State men's basketball, where Ohio State men's basketball definitely hasn't been in the cellar of the Big Ten. And guys, let's be real here. I mean, it's a football school, right? I mean, a lot of those resources are going to go to the gridiron and not to the court, but still there's an expectation that Ohio State is going to have, not a bubble team year in and year out in the NCAA tournament, that they're going to have, a team that can get anywhere, can be competitive in the Big Ten, that can maybe get that double bye in the Big Ten conference tournament, that can compete amongst, the second tier and first tier teams. Big loss yesterday against Iowa. Very big win for Ben McCollum, who, we got to study Ben McCollum and his rise through the coaching rankings because already he is a well-known name amongst coaches going from Missouri State to Drake to Iowa in a matter of like 36 months. Just absolutely insane. His rise through the ranks has Iowa after that win yesterday against Ohio State pretty firmly in the NCAA tournament with a couple of games to play for the Hawkeyes currently on Bracket Matrix. They are an 8 seed. It was a good win yesterday for John Calipari's Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas has been, I mean, when Calipari went to Arkansas, it was a very big deal. And it was like, oh my God, Calipari not going to be in Kentucky. And on top of that, Calipari going to a different SEC school, right? He's staying in conference but being the Arkansas head coach, yet they, haven't had the overwhelming amount of success that maybe you would expect from a John Calipari team, but they've been trending in the right direction right now. A seed, slotted to be a 5 seed in the NCAA tournament. Tough loss yesterday here locally. Omaha losing to South Dakota. Was watching that game on CBS. Very competitive matchup between the two teams until just South Dakota just turned on the faucet and then ended up blowing out Omaha. I still think Omaha is going to be okay. It's going to be interesting, though. I mean, 3-game winning streak, and they had a legitimate opportunity to have 2 more big wins over South Dakota and St. Thomas heading into the Summit League tournament. Now they're kind of looking at potentially losing 2 games to end the season, and kind of stopping that momentum before they go back to Sioux Falls, so try and defend their conference tournament championship. But we will see. They're back in action in Minnesota against St. Thomas on Saturday. We will continue to talk college basketball throughout the show. We'll get a little bit more in depth about Creighton and DePaul, and definitely get in depth about Nebraska's win yesterday against Maryland. A lot to like from Nebraska's victory against the Terrapins. Plenty to be concerned about. And the question we're going to ask, is it going to be harder to replace Sam Hoiberg, or is it going to be harder to replace Rink Mass? Because I think that is a legitimate question to be had when it comes to the current iteration of this Nebraska roster and what it might look like next season. We will talk about all that and more. But first, before we get anywhere, we're going to talk to Steve Sipple coming up next year of Husker Online and 93.7 The Ticket and on 3. All that and more here on Middays with Matt.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Okay. We're gonna wait for Steve Sipple here. Hopefully we'll go into some point during the segment. I just got a tweet. Okay. Got a tweet.
Brag.
From Chicago Doghouse.
Chicago Doghouse, yeah.
It's not necessarily the tweet. It says bringing the best of Chicago food to Midtown Omaha. Where is
Oh, are
this?
you not familiar with
No,
Chicago
I'm
Doghouse?
not at all. Remotely. Where is this? This place exists. I go to
Yeah.
Midtown all the time. I've never seen it.
It's
And why are they tweeting at me?
they know you are Chicago.
I've never seen this place before, and I live right next to Midtown. I have to go there now. I feel like this would be probably the greatest sponsor we could have on this show.
Many are saying.
Okay, Baymon goes, I thought they closed years ago, pre-COVID. Oh, no.
Stibb says that's his cousin. He'll hook us up.
No way. Let's see here. I think it's still open. Oh, my God.
They've had a few spots in town over the years. And
Like, immediately, I'm all over this place. Can why a traditional style hot dog? How much do you think a traditional style hot dog costs?
not much.
$3.53.
Oh, let's go.
Sign me up. They even got a Milwaukee Ave Polish sausage, and they got an Ashland Italian. Nice. Okay. See, I could not believe it would take a tweet like that for me to figure out that place exists. I cannot wait to go. So there you go. Good news. Hopefully, some good news coming that Steve Sipple will eventually join us here on Middays with Matt. But let's begin here. Let's talk about the Maryland versus Nebraska versus
double-digit win. Nothing to worry about.
No.
What?
Here's the thing. Sam Hoiberg said it really well in his press conference. He goes, you can't take Big Ten wins for granted. Okay, you cannot take them for granted. And he made a great point. His freshman year, they started the Big Ten play 0-12. All right? Started Big Ten play 0-12. And I think I had to kind of listen to that and recoup that and recalibrate that and say, you know what? Yes, like in relativeness to where Nebraska basketball has been over the last couple of years, handling the lower tier of the Big Ten had never been a guarantee. Okay. Nebraska basketball under Fred Hoiberg, plenty, even when they made the NCAA tournament the one time with Fred Hoiberg before this season, would lose to teams that they shouldn't lose to in the Big Ten. And so Sam is completely right. Like, if you're looking back on what this program had accomplished before this season, it was never a guarantee that, they're all right. Nebraska's ranked higher than them. They have higher power ratings and higher net rankings. And, they're just seemingly the better team. And they're a double-digit favorite. They're an 8-point favorite. Hey, they're just going to go in and handle business. Like, that literally has not existed until this season. And I would say that the biggest issue with last year's team is that didn't exist, because they had plenty of opportunity to make the NCAA tournament last season, and they were able, and they didn't, because they would lose these bad games to teams they should have beaten. And so I definitely have to value that in terms of, yes, it is very good that this team, relative to the years past, can just go in and beat teams at the bottom tier of the Big Ten, and it's no sweat, and it's no big deal. But I'm not necessarily judging this team right now off of what happened in years past. I'm judging off of what this team has accomplished earlier in the season, how they've looked and how they played earlier in the season, and the ceiling in which they have. And the ceiling this team has is very high. The ceiling of this team is winning multiple games in the NCAA tournament. The ceiling of this team is going to the second weekend, and according to the coach that they just played yesterday, it's going to the Final Four. Buzz Williams has coached a lot of basketball in his career. Buzz Williams has been in the NCAA tournament plenty. Buzz Williams knows what he's watching. Buzz Williams knows what it looks like. And so when a guy like that says this team is a sneaky Final Four team, I take that guy's opinion. I take that guy's opinion with a steel bullet. And so when we're judging Nebraska basketball, not based off of what happened in 2021 and 2022 and 23 and 24, when we're just basing them off of what has happened this year, yeah, I look at yesterday's performance and I go, okay, they won and they beat this team by 13, but that run that they had in the second half that got everybody rocking at PBA, that 7-0 run, and that against Maryland, right, gives them a 4-point lead, right? That makes the score 52-48. That 7-0 run against a good team would have cut the lead to like 8. You know what I'm saying? Like them turning on the faucet in the second half, yeah, against Maryland puts them up double digits, right? But that big run that they go on against a high quality team that they would play in the Big Ten tournament, that they would play in the NCAA tournament, that high quality run isn't taking a 4-point lead. That high quality run is still cutting into a deficit because of you didn't play well in the first half. And if Nebraska basketball plays the way that they did in the first half, which is sloppy, discombobulated, not hitting their shots, like it's going to lead to them being in a big hole to start. They went 10 of 24 from the field, 5 of 15 from 3. Right? They had 6 turnovers on the game, but they turned the ball over 4 times in the first half. Right? I mean, it's one of those things where you can have those sluggish starts against Maryland because Maryland isn't a good basketball team. But if you have that sluggish start against a Texas Tech, or you have that sluggish start against a Houston, or you have that sluggish start against an Iowa or a Purdue or a Iowa State or a Kansas or a Vanderbilt or Arkansas, we could go down the line of, teams potentially that Nebraska can play. You're going to find yourself in a quick hole, and you're going to find yourself trying to dig yourself out of that hole against a high-quality opponent. That's not the spot you want to be in. That's not the spot you want to be in. And so I give them a ton of credit for, going on that 18-3 run in the second half. I give them a ton. I mean, man, Sam Hoiberg, and we'll talk about him later in the show, what he did, the spark plug that he gave the team off the bench, or not off the bench, just the spark plug he gave the team in general. How he got Pinnacle Bank Arena back into the game. I mean, the guy only had 6 points, and yet he made such a massive impact. I was looking at the first half box score. He had 12 points, and he had such an impact on this game, along with 3 steals. The guy played 36 minutes and looked like the most well-conditioned, energized player on the court for a lot of that game. Just made so many smart plays, made so many great plays. Really just got the team going back in the second half. Like, I can give Sam credit. I can look at Braden Frager and say, all right, there he is. Like there's the guy who can slash through the hoop. There's the guy that can get to the free throw line. Did a great job clearing the boards as well with 8 rebounds. Like, I'm all for looking at those performances, highlighting them and saying, hell yeah, like that's what they need. And if they continue to get that, they'll reach their potential. But it's hard for me to not watch the first half and say, that ain't going to fly against good teams in the Big Ten tournament. That ain't going to fly against good teams in the NCAA tournament. And we know that because it happened to them against Purdue. They were terrible to begin the game against Purdue. And what did their head coach say in the press conference after that game, after that loss to the Boilermakers? Well, we lost the game in the first 3 minutes. Right? You can lose the game in the first 3 minutes in February, and we say, okay, hey, bad one. Just clean it up, flush it down, have a good week of practice, got plenty of opportunities ahead of you, build your momentum again. You lose the first you lose the first 3 minutes in March, you lose the first 3 minutes in the NCAA tournament, you lose the first 3 minutes in the Big Ten tournament, your tournament's over. In the NCAA tournament, your season's over. So, yeah, I mean, is Sam Hoiberg correct? Should I not take Big Ten wins for granted? Absolutely, I shouldn't. Should I look at this team and be very impressed and thankful from a fan perspective that, hey, I don't have to worry about this team not being able to take care of business against the lower level teams in the Big Ten. Absolutely. This team is going to end the season without a Q3, Q4 loss. Right? And I have to look at the let's see here on the net rankings with the USC. USC currently right now, actually got to put it in. I believe they're in the they're 62nd in the net ranking, which means that game is going to be a Q1 opportunity. So from here on out, Nebraska basketball is going to have Q1 opportunity wins, which means that they're going to go a whole season without a Q2, Q3, or Q4 loss. That's impressive, man. Like, that's impressive. Michigan has a Q2 loss. Illinois has a Q2 loss. Florida has a Q2 loss.
Losers.
Virginia's got a Q2 loss. Kansas has a Q2 loss. Right? I mean, for goodness sake, Gonzaga has a Q3 loss.
Idiots.
Against Portland. St. John's
Could you imagine?
St. John's has a Q3 loss. Right? Iowa's got aQ3. Like, all of these teams, these top teams, these tournament teams have Q2 and Q3 losses. Nebraska doesn't. Nebraska went a whole season without dropping a bad one. That's incredible. Like, that is an accomplishment. To go a whole year and for a full 40 minutes not play down the competition and allow yourself to get gotcha'd by a team in this conference is something to hang your hat on. So I give them credit. But I can't watch the first half where you score 33 points and not say, man, I hope they don't play like that in March. You have to. I mean, they were very fortunate, to have a 6-point lead, and their defense is still really good. And I think that's another thing too that, and Robin comes on our show and he goes on the other shows and he says it all the time. Like, that's one of those things where, no matter what gym you go to, that defense is going to travel, which is, I think, the catalyst of this team is the fact that game in and game out, they're going to play a disciplined, aggressive form of defense. And I'm going to tell you this right now, too. Like, if Nebraska can go the NCAA tournament, and look, there's some teams that, regardless of conference, that you don't want them to play, Houston being one of them. But if Nebraska can go the NCAA tournament without having to play a Big Ten team or without having to play a team that they've already played before, that would be a massive advantage for them. I just think the way that they play defense, their aggression on the baseline, their ability to switch not only on ball but off ball as well, to understand where the rotations are, to understand where the soft spots and the defense might be, to the intuition that they have of where shooters might be floating to when they come out of those double teams or when they come out of that hard hedge on pick and rolls. Like, that's really, really hard to watch and say, okay, we're prepared for that. Like, you have to almost play against it first to really get comfortable with it, which is kind of what happened with Illinois. Like, Illinois looked way more comfortable playing against Nebraska the second time than the first time because they just understood what was coming at them. If Nebraska can go the NCAA tournament without having to play an overly physical, overly athletic team like a St. John's or a Houston, and can also avoid Big Ten teams that they've played before, they're gonna have a good shot. Like, it's all about matchups. It's all about matchups in the NCAA tournament. And I actually do think that Nebraska matches up really well with more teams than not. Because the teams that they won't match up particularly well with are the ones that they really won't play until the second weekend if they get there. Right? Like, the teams that I think Nebraska will have difficulty with are the ones that are way more athletic than them and have more size than them, can be a little bit more physical than them. Those teams really don't exist on the 13 seed line, the 14 seed line, 15 seed line, right? Those kind of your prototypical, maybe stereotypical, 13, 14, 15 seed is a mid-major team that has great chemistry, that plays, basketball very connected, that's been playing together for a long time, that has a lot of veterans. Well, Nebraska can fight that fire with fire, right? Nebraska does that type of stuff at just a power level, at a very, very high level, being connected, having experience, having chemistry, understanding your system. right? If you're going to, you can't fight Nebraska that way because Nebraska's just going to beat you that way. You got to fight Nebraska with athleticism and physicality. You're not going to reach that. You're going to have to play those teams until the Sweet 16. You're going to really have to play those teams until, you get to that second weekend. So I think the matchups can work out really well for Nebraska if they get to the NCAA tournament. And if they can keep that element of surprise, if they can keep that element of surprise where it's like teams just aren't used to playing against a team like that, against an aggressive defense like that, and at times maybe an unorthodox defense like Nebraska's, I think it'll bode well for them. And I loved what Buzz Williams said about, and do we have the drop in here? By any chance?
Oh yeah, let me pull it up. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good. Because he brings up a really interesting point about the contrasting styles between Nebraska's offense and Nebraska's defense, where it's almost as if they're trying to accomplish two different things on both sides of the ball. And from a coach's perspective, that's a really difficult thing to do. I want everybody to listen to this because this is a high quality, this is a high IQ coach who's won a lot of basketball games, who's seen a lot of teams. Like, you get to the point when you've been in college basketball for as long as some of these guys had at the power level, they know what it looks like. Buzz Williams knows what it looks like. This is what he had to say about Nebraska after the game.
Sneaky Final Four good because the volume of threes that they make and the percentage of those threes that they shoot, that they make. And then they're so committed to keeping the ball out of the paint. And so, like when you look at their analytics, it's easy to see what they're trying to do offensively, but it's also really easy to see what they're trying to do defensively. And so it's almost a contrast in styles in what they do. And that's hard to accomplish. And I think the connectivity of their team is obvious from just watching them on film. I don't know any of the players, but I thought that team that we played was really good. I think this team is better. And I think their ability to execute what coach has changed and adjusted on both sides of the ball is really good.
So basically what Buzz is saying here is what they do on the offensive side of the ball is they're going to take threes and they're going to make threes. And for how much Nebraska makes, the percentage and efficiency in which they make those threes makes them incredibly, hard to guard on offense. But what they do on defense is that they take away your best shots, right? Your most efficient shots, which is the ones in the paint. So Nebraska is stopping you from taking the most efficient shot as possible. And then Nebraska on the offensive end is hitting the most effective shot incredibly efficiently. We're not going to let you get twos on the offensive end, and we're going to kill you with threes on the other side of the ball. Right? So essentially what Nebraska's saying is that, hey, you're going to beat us, kind of got to outshoot us, right? I mean, you got to outspace us. You got to outplay us at our own game. And we got Price Sanford. We have Sam Hoiberg shooting 40% from the three. What if Rink Mask has the game he had against Purdue where he's hitting those shots? Jamarcus Lawrence has a ton of confidence, right? I mean, Jared Garcia, I thought gave some really good minutes yesterday, especially in that first half. Like, what if he hits a three? I mean, he's only hit 7 this year, but it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, we're not going to let you get efficient buckets, and then we're going to kill you efficiently with the most effective shot in the game, which is from beyond the arc. You do that at a high level, you're going to beat a lot of teams. You're just going to beat a lot of teams. But it also, too, something you have to factor is I feel like Nebraska's playing some of their best basketball when they do touch the paint. And I don't think it's any surprise or any shock to me that when Nebraska started turning things around in the game and started taking the lead that they needed to have, where did that come? Right? Listen to this. Listen to their 11-0 run. The Rink Mask jumper, Rink Mask layup, Braden Frager layup, Price Sanford three-pointer, Sam Hoiberg free throws, right? Let's go to the 7-0 run before that. Rink Mask layup, Braden Frager free throw, Braden Frager three, right? It's one of those things where it's like this team, yeah, they can hit threes at a high level, but when they really get going is when you start allowing them to get to the paint. is when your kind of interior defense starts breaking down. Because if that starts breaking down, then you're going to collapse in on it, and then we're going to get free shots everywhere. You know, and especially, too, if they can get the fast break going, there's nothing. I believe in momentum so much when it comes to sports. There are very few things as momentum swinging as a transition three-point shot. And we saw it yesterday on that steal. Then J-Law keeps, they get it out to J-Law, then he makes the extra pass to Price, and he hits that three in the corner, and everybody's going crazy. Like, it's the type of stuff that wins you games. And so, I'm going to be hard on this team. I'm going to be hard on this team and say, you can't play the way that you played in the first half against Maryland, against high-quality opponents in the NCAA tournament, the Big Ten tournament. But I'm hard on this team because we know what they can accomplish, and they can accomplish some really good things. All right, coming up next, we're gonna do some NFL talk. There was a mock trade that we saw on Twitter that sparked Josh Odson and I's interest, and I think it's going to lead to an interesting conversation of the philosophy and outlook of how teams are now handling their rosters after the emergence of quarterbacks who were previously given up on. We're going to talk about that and a little bit more with the odd news coming up at 11:45 here on Middays with Matt.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Soul.
Great tweet on Twitter right now from the assistant athletic director of Omaha Athletics, Mr. Jordan Sarnoff, our guy. So we didn't talk about it yesterday because I figured it would get a lot of airtime around here. And you know, we had some other things to cover. But did you hear about the sinkhole?
Did I hear about the sinkhole? You bet your sweet bippy I did.
You know, the first thing I thought of was not on Josh Hodson's watch.
Oh, yeah. If I was running this town, it would never happen.
How many sinkholes have happened when Josh Odson has been mayor?
Great question.
0.
That's right.
Now, we like John Ewing, friend of the program.
That's right.
He came on 1620 The Zone. Were we his first, like, mayoral interview or something? Like, we were one of the first people to have him on.
I imagine he was probably on a couple stations before us, but I mean,
Okay.
he'd only been in office like a month.
I mean, we got
when
him
the College
right
World
away.
Series
Have
started
you
last
ever
year.
heard that story where they had no idea where they were going? Like, they didn't know where the interview was supposed to be.
Well, when
And
you
then-
say Omaha Baseball Village, it
Oh no, I'm
can
not,
be confusing.
I'm not blaming them, but then like I walked by them and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the mayor. And it was the one day I wore my 1620 The Zone polo.
Yeah, we all made sure to dress nice that day.
And they looked at me and they go, "Hey, we're supposed to talk to you." I'm like, "All right, follow me, Mayor."
Come on down. Matt saved the day.
So the sinkhole happened. Which
Nobody ever brings that up. Matt saved the day.
No.
But if Matt makes a minor mistake, oh my gosh, it's a whole thing.
it's okay.
It's really
Thank you, Josh.
interesting.
At least somebody's banging on the drum for me.
Mhm.
First off, irrational fears is a fun topic for me. I have a massive fear of alligators.
I mean, that's
Okay.
a perfect killing machine. I don't think that's all that weird.
All right. It is, dude. I mean, the force that they get on their bite.
Mhm.
Do you know they can run up to 20 miles an hour? Listen
Okay,
to
I
me.
did not know that.
They can run up to 20 miles an hour.
Terrifying.
All right. And then that tail that they have, that thing's a whip. All right. That thing will hurt you. That thing will kill you. Okay. Will I ever really see an alligator in the wild if I choose not to? Absolutely not. Like, I will never have to see an alligator unless I put myself in a position to see an alligator, in which I will never do that. Yet it's a massive fear. I think a sinkhole is probably number one on irrational fears. I don't think anyone is ever really thinking when they're sitting in traffic that the road from under them is going to collapse, and they may not know when that thing is going to stop collapsing. But that happened yesterday in Omaha. We want to shout out, though, two Omaha Mavericks athletes, women's basketball players, Olivia Borsutsky and Ezra Kerbin went and got the people from the sinkhole. They were just kind of walking by the area when the sinkhole happened, and they ran to the danger, and they grabbed the people who needed to be grabbed to get out of the sinkhole. So congratulations to them. We want to give a shout out to them for their bravery, and just two athletes helping people out in the community. Okay, so we want to get. And by the way, Omaha women's basketball picking up a little steam. Josh Hodson, 3-3 in their last 6 games.
Some would say peaking at the right time.
Some would say that. Dude, who's also peaking at the right time, Steve Sipple, after not being available.
Direct to voicemail.
It's not his fault.
Never is.
It's not Giancarlo's fault. Do we have that?
I don't know if it's still up there.
Dang it. Still have this one.
Stibbs is a psycho.
Never. I love, by the way, we just put all of these drops on here from our Stibbs interview.
Just a whole bunch of Stibbs stuff. We're claiming them as ours now.
We get Stibbs in the divorce, is what we're saying. Retroactive
He
claiming.
was never
of
a part
Stibbs.
of the marriage.
No,
but we get him in the
we get him.
divorce.
Stibbs is like our Michael Orr. We're adopting him when he's 17.
Yeah, okay.
You know, we've adopted him. He's.
Are
even
you
though-
Tim McGraw or Sandra Bullock in this scenario?
I'll take Sandra.
Okay.
This team
I've always
is-
wanted to be thin, so I'll be Tim McGraw.
Run the damn ball, Bert. Enough of these trick plays. This team is your family, Michael. You have to protect them. Yeah, I got blindside quotes. You never know what I got cooking up here. You never know what I got cooking up in the brain. And so we've taken the stim scraps. Steve Sipple will be on with us at 12:20. Lauren Michaelson will be with us at 1:15 later today. We're going to talk about a quick little thing we found on Twitter yesterday. It was a mock trade. And typically I don't do mock trades. Baymon texted us and said mock trades are stupid. Most of the time, I agree with Baymon. Most of the time, I agree. I don't like mock trades. This one, though, was pretty damn good. And it got me thinking. When you can have a Twitter post that has a stupid graphic to get me to think, immediately I go, I'm impressed with what you're putting down. Okay?
If your proposed mock trade doesn't have a graphic that tells me what each team gets, I'm scrolling right past it.
Yeah, if your mock trade is just a tweet, like a characterized tweet, not do it. Not do it. Okay, here we go. The Cardinals would trade Kyler Murray, a 2026 first-round pick, the third overall pick in the draft, and a 2027 first-round pick. So they would trade Kyler Murray, a 2026 first, and a 2027 first for the first overall pick in the draft and a sixth-round pick in 2026. Kind of love it. I love it for both teams, if I'm being honest with you.
How high are you on Fernando Mendoza?
Not
to begin
very.
With? Okay.
Not very. Like
that, you have to bake that into the cake, right?
I'm not very big on Fernando. Not because I think Fernando is going to be a bust. Okay, like that's not baked into it. I'm just not very high on Fernando because I just don't think he's going to be elite. I just it's kind of it's just one of those things where I'm like, if you're going to use the number 1 overall draft pick on a quarterback, like, you know, you should have an outlook of like, hey, this guy's going to end up potentially being one of the best, you know, quarterbacks in the draft or in the league, right? But at the same time with Fernando, I also don't think he's going to be a bust. Like, I think Fernando Mendoza is going to be an incredibly capable quarterback in the NFL. Like, I think Fernando Mendoza is going to be able to do really good things for teams. It's just one of those instances where, what do you have? What is your infrastructure? What are you bringing this quarterback into? Right? What do you have to offer to this QB? Right? Because I think sometimes we too often think, what does this quarterback have to offer for me? I think we have to start answering the question of what do we have to give this quarterback, right? Are we giving him the tools to be successful? Are the Raiders giving Fernando Mendoza the tools to be successful?
They're a long way from contending.
Seriously, they don't. They do not have the tools. They do not have the things that a guy like Fernando Mendoza needs to immediately not just be successful in the NFL, but to eventually be successful in the NFL. And so, like, I think Drake May, right? He's a guy that he's so damn talented and he had so much raw potential that I don't think he necessarily needed to have this elite offensive line and have these elite wide receivers and have these great tight ends right away, because he had so much athleticism and so much raw potential that he could kind of deal with that. He could work through that. Fernando just doesn't have that. And that's not Fernando's fault per se, but I just don't think that you can throw Fernando into a situation where he's just probably going to fail. You know, he's just probably going to fail. The Raiders do not have a good offensive line. The Raiders could not have a run game last year. The Raiders do not have elite offensive weapons on the outside. They have 2 good tight ends, but if we're measuring on the scale here of what are the tools that the Raiders have to offer Fernando Mendoza, to me, it's not enough. And if we've learned anything over the last couple of seasons when it comes to quarterback play in the NFL, teams are failing quarterbacks more than quarterbacks are failing teams.
Yeah, they don't have any capability. Like they don't have the infrastructure to be able to grade Fernando Mendoza when
No.
he gets there. So.
No, not at all. And that's the problem. Like, okay, did Baker Mayfield really fail Cleveland, or did Cleveland fail Baker Mayfield?
Given both of their histories, I'm going to guess the Browns failed Baker Mayfield.
Okay. Did Sam Darnold fail the Jets, or did the Jets fail Sam Darnold?
Given both of their track records, I will guess the Jets failed Mr. Darnold.
In year one of Caleb Williams, did Matt Eberflus and Shane Waldron fail Caleb Williams, or did Caleb Williams fail them? And what happened when Caleb Williams was given an offensive head coach and a guy who's good at what he does and a coach with a vision? He ended up being really, really good. That's the thing. If we've learned anything over the last couple of years, it's, man, you got to have an infrastructure. You got to be prepared. Look at what these quarterbacks do when they're given good offensive coordinators, when they're given good weapons. Look at what Sam Darnold turned into when he had Kevin O'Connell, when he had Justin Jefferson, when he had Jordan Addison, when he had TJ Hawkinson, when he had a good run game in Aaron Jones. What did Darnold do when he had JSN and he had Clint Kubiak and he had Kenneth Walker? He won a damn Super Bowl, right? Look at I'm going to tell you this right now. Mac Jones would probably be my top candidate to be the next Sam Darnold, to be the next Baker Mayfield, because that's a guy who's rehabbed essentially in San Francisco like Darnold did, right?
If I'm the Raiders and I can get a quarterback who's better than Geno, but only move down 2 or 3 picks, like, yeah, I might take that. Like,
I know
if I don't love Fernando, then yeah, I might take that.
So that's kind of the point here. Malik Willis is going to get $30 million this year. Why? Because he went to Green Bay where they had offensive weapons and offensive head coach, and shocker, he looked great. So if I'm the Raiders, I'm looking at this trade saying, okay, we'll take 1 year, we'll take 2 years of Kyler Murray. Maybe he turns into something. Maybe he ends up being the first overall pick that he thought he could be. There's still a lot of talent there with Kyler Murray. But if it doesn't work out, fine. We only have 2 years on the deal. We'll throw that money away. We'll reset, and we'll take these extra draft picks, and we'll go ahead and we'll build up this team. We'll build up this roster. We'll get an offensive line. We'll get weapons. We'll get wide receivers. We'll move through things. If I'm Arizona, if I'm in love with the number 1 overall pick, if I'm in love with Fernando Mendoza, if I think I need a quarterback like Mendoza who can be a little bit more on schedule and consistent and can get the ball to guys like Marvin Harrison Jr., and the Arizona Cardinals, they are a team that have invested in the offensive line where they've used top picks on the offensive line recently. I think if they believe that they're ready to go and have a quarterback on their team and they have more of an infrastructure than the Raiders do, then yeah, I think you make that trade. To me, though, I think the meat of this argument, though, is I'm not taking Fernando Mendoza if I'm the Raiders. The Raiders are not ready. They are not ready to have a quarterback. And I'm not a believer if I'm Fernando Mendoza, I'm doing everything I can to not get picked by the Raiders. I don't believe in that. Okay. That it happened. I understand it happened with Eli Manning, but I don't think that's a point to be used. But if I'm Fernando Mendoza, I'm kind of crossing my fingers, hoping, hey, a team that has a better infrastructure than Vegas goes ahead and drafts me. We got Charlie on the line. Thank you so much for calling in, Charlie. 402-951-1620 is the number if you want to call in. That's the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Charlie, how you doing, my man?
Hey, guys. I got a couple bullet points I wanted to bring up this morning. I was just listening to you guys sitting in my kitchen reading a book, and it kind of caught my attention when you asked. Well, it wasn't you guys. It was the earlier show. I think they asked Brian Christopherson, what do you think Sam Hoiberg does the best or brings to the court? And I think his answer was, he makes the 50-50 balls 90-10, which is 100% true. But I had a little more time to think about it than DC did. And the thing I was thinking is he's just one heck of a coach on the floor. And I know that's easy to say because his dad is. Yeah. But it's very, very obvious to me that his dad is in his ear. And, I mean, he plays like his dad. I'm a little bit older. I watched his dad play in college, and he threw fits for the Nebraska team. That was a good team in the mid-'90s. So I think it's his ability to coach. Of course, he is the 50-50 ball guy as well. But I think, the success of Nebraska basketball, to another point, with that, they were talking about an Indianapolis article about the Indiana basketball stinking and football good.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, they brought up, and I think it was one of your shows, but the co-host was asked, what do you think the pressure on Matt Rule's going up?
Yeah.
And he said no. I 100% think the pressure's going up with Matt Rule.
Oh yeah.
Even if they make a Sweet 16 run, that seat is so hot already.
Are you mean with Hoiberg?
No, with Rule.
Sweet 16 run in football?
No, he's saying if basketball
No.
gets good and enough to go to the Sweet 16, people are going to go, why couldn't you do this with resources?
Good. I
Matt
like
Rule?
that. I like this, Charlie. I'm sorry I wasn't following.
Yeah. So I think each win makes that seat hotter for Matt Rule.
Ooh.
Each win by the Nebraska basketball team
Ooh.
in the tournament. But and one final thing, and I know you guys got, I think, odd news coming up.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Good
I
plug.
was listening to your crossover, and you asked about actors, and I was thinking about first thing that came to mind, and I kind of put a sports twist on it. So with Tom Hanks, it would be A League of Their Own.
Nice.
Ryan Gosling would be, remember the Titans, where he was a crappy cornerback. Matthew McConaughey would be We Are Marshall, and Cameron Diaz would be There's Something About Mary. That's only a sports movie because Brett Favre makes a cameo.
You could do Any Given
all I got,
Sunday for
Lauren.
Cameron Diaz, too.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah.
I appreciate it greatly.
Yeah,
Great
thanks a lot,
call.
guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really looked at I think if Matt Rule is going to have pressure on him, it's going to be because of him not accomplishing things and not necessarily what other sports are doing. I don't love connecting the two sports just because I think they're independent of themselves. And I don't think I necessarily agree with our basketball coach is so much better than our football coach. We need to go and get a better football coach. Like I think if just football's producing, you keep the guy that's producing. If it's not producing, you go and find another guy who can produce. We'll take a break real quick, but Charlie's question, what does Sam Hoiberg do best? I mean, I understand his intuition on the court and the 50-50 balls, but I think the multiplicity. Guy averages 10 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals per game. Now, there aren't too many players who just do that many things, who can just be as reliable as he can on both sides of the floor. And he does it while being 5'11", which is wild. And he shoots 40% from 3. People don't talk about that enough. Sam Hoiberg is a really good shooter. Sam Hoiberg spreads the floor. And Charles says Sam is deceptively quick. He's gotten so quick off the dribble this year, too, and can take it to the basket when, plenty of times this season. So, great call from Charlie, 42951-1620, Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more. That's our zone hotline. Coming up next, lunchtime, baby. It's the odd news coming up.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Do.
Yeah, do it live.
How does it? How
Do
does
it live.
It's the odd news with Josh Odd's son. You see what we did there?
Nailed it.
Now it's the odd news. Or dude, yeah, just play it.
And now we've reached the point in the show
Oh, I
where
forgot that
Josh
part.
Hudson reads the
Preamble.
peculiar, the bizarre.
You think I'm listening to the
the
preamble?
odd news with odd son.
Do you think I'm listening?
Odd news, odd son.
I don't listen to the show.
See what we did there?
I don't.
The odd news with odd
I am
son.
the show.
Well,
Hey,
Matt, we start in New York.
Okay, go ahead.
The governor of New York,
Who is who, by the way?
Kathy Hochul.
I had no idea. I know who the mayor of New York is. He's always on Twitter.
Always. The governor stepped in to help a Long Island grandfather win his battle over a customized license plate.
Oh, okay.
The license plate says the letters PB, the number 4, the letters WEGO.
Okay, wait. PB4WEGO. PB before we go?
P before we go. Yes, you got it.
Oh, P before we go.
That's right.
Nice.
Seth Bukowski shared a photo of a letter he received from the New York State DMV telling him his P before we go license plate has been found to be in violation of the department's regulations. The DMV's rules prohibit vanity plates bearing messages that could be construed as derogatory, degrading, disrespectful, inflammatory. Bukowski argued this does not qualify. What is derogatory? What's disrespectful?
Sure. Before
About that. In
yeah.
all my years as a parent and now a grandparent, the worst I've gotten has been a gentle roll of the eyes over the license plate for my grandkids. He joked he was going to run for governor as an independent. The controversy gained online attention, eventually reaching the current governor, who posted a video to social media showing her phone conversation with Bukowski, which featured the governor praising the plate as an important lesson. All right.
That's a little much. That's called pandering, is what that's
I
called.
think everyone should be reminded to pee before we go, the governor said. I have kids and grandkids, and I support the effort wholeheartedly.
You ever pee your pants in a car?
In a car? No, nothing comes to mind.
Has your boy done it?
I'm going to guess so.
Okay,
Yeah.
not that you would know.
Yeah, I don't remember, but it
Okay.
seems like something he'd do.
I've never known anybody to pee their pants in the car.
You got to be real young, right?
I mean, I have. You know what? We're gonna hold that.
Once you have a certain dexterity, you just either pull over the car and get out, or you tell the person driving, "Hey, you got to get out. I got to go."
Or you can pee in a bottle.
That too.
That
Dumb and Dumber taught us that, right, folks?
or just intuition. Oh, I have an empty bottle. I really have to go. Let me pee
Mhm.
in it. All right, what's our next story?
We go to Florida, where a woman who became the
Let's
world's
go.
oldest competitive pool player at the age of 94 is still going strong at the age of 98.
Wow.
She is the back world's oldest competitive pool player, I guess.
Oh, okay. So
98 years young and
I-
competing in a tournament in Vegas.
as she continues to just not kick the bucket, which
Yeah.
we're very happy to hear.
Would love
by the
that.
way.
She
That-
extends her own
wait,
record.
That woman was 18 during World War II.
Yeah, that tracks. Yeah.
My God.
Maggie Kennedy was dubbed the world's oldest competitive pool player in 2021. And 5 years later, excuse me, I didn't get the number of backs right. She and her team, Sunday Fun Day, are headed to the BCA Nationals Pool League tournament in Vegas.
My God.
Yeah.
And she's traveling and everything.
Yeah,
Wow.
traveling. There's a group in the area she lives in that raised $2,000 to get her to Vegas.
My goodness. Good for her.
Yeah. What would losing to the 98-year-old
Be embarrassing.
Yeah.
It'd be embarrassing.
Mhm.
I think I would retire. But if I'm going to be real with you, I would lose to the 98-year-old.
I would too.
I'm not.
Absolutely.
I'm not a pool guy.
I understand that, like, it's just geometry and
I've-
you line it, but I still can't.
I'm going to be real with you. I tried to get good at pool. That
Seems like something you would try.
It was
and get good at.
It was a goal of mine at one point to just be good at all the weird bar games. Like I wanted to be good at giant Jenga and the ring toss game and the pool game and darts. Like I'm in a dart league and everything like that. I tried being good at pool, couldn't do it. Could not do it.
No. We go up the road in Virginia just a little bit.
More than a little bit.
Yeah. I question the validity of this.
Oh,
but
great.
Here we go.
Okay.
A woman's pet horse was officially certified as the oldest horse in the world by Guinness at the age of 37 years and 329 days. That is an old horse. But how you checking every horse? Come on. Come on. Fancy, a horse belonging to Paige Bloomer, was born April 1st, 1988.
All right.
And the duo, who share the same birthday, have been together since Bloomer was 8 years old and Fancy was 12.
My God.
Bloomer submitted evidence of Fancy's age to Guinness, and she took over the title of oldest living horse last year. I would never have believed if you told me at the age of 33 and 37, Fancy and I would still be together and sharing lifelong memories. We've been confronted with many health battles as she's gotten older.
No crap you've been.
But she
37 years old for a horse. That's insane.
She never gives up and is such a strong-willed horse. And in return, I never give up on her.
This is a hefty medical bill. You know what?
The oldest, okay, one more thing, and then we can
go
make
ahead,
fun.
please.
The oldest horse ever was named Old Billy and died at the age of 62.
My God.
In the year 1822, Guinness World Records says.
Look, the average age of a horse, I mean, it's dependent on the type of horse, could be anywhere from like 20 to 30, right? That's kind of, once you hit like the 20 mark.
That horse was born in 1760.
Dependent. 37 is a long ass time for a horse to be around. And I immediately thought of the financials of it all. That's where my mind goes to. That horse, won the Kentucky Derby and is still breeding.
Oh, yeah. Whoa, still breeding at that age?
I don't know.
You gotta know when to say when.
Isn't that, I mean, if you'd want to be any sort of an athlete at some point in your life, I would consider maybe being a racehorse.
Oh, okay.
Like every
can I just choose to be a racehorse?
Like every person goes like, oh, like if you could be any athlete, who would you be?
Oh, okay.
And I'd be like, people be like Mike Trout, Ken Griffey Jr., LeBron James, Wayne Gretzky. To be honest with you, American Pharoah lives a pretty good life. That guy,
I would imagine so.
That horse won the Triple Crown. It's one of the greatest modern horses in history. And then now, what does he do for the rest of his life?
Wait, I got the answer. Where is
to your left. To your left. No, the other one. Oh. No, I was thinking this one.
Oh, yeah, we do have a button for that.
We have a button that says horse sex.
I wanted the bang.
That's all that guy does. He won the Triple Crown. He just has sex for the rest of his life. And he gets paid for it.
Make room for daddy.
Literally.
Well played for you.
Thank
well
you.
played by you. Top that, Sipple.
Yeah, seriously, Sip. Coming up at 12:15. We had to move.
12:15.
He's a hard guy to book.
Keeps moving back.
Back. We're going to talk about Matt Rule. We're going to talk about an email I got.
Matt Rule's emails?
No, I didn't get. No. Didn't get Matt Rule's emails. I don't want anybody's emails. I don't know anything that might happen in Matt Rule's emails, but if you told me that, like, I get Josh Hodson's emails, I don't want to see Josh Hodson's emails.
You don't. It's a tire fire.
No, it's not. It's very organized. You delete every email like a psycho.
Oh, we got a new email system, and I just I got one email in there right now. It's pretty clean.
Are you?
I like it.
Are you kind of freaking out with the new email system? Is that? I mean, you're a little startled, and I think that's just because a lot of things.
Well, now my old filing system was the deleted items folder, and I can just search for whatever I may need. That's going away.
That is.
Now I have to remember, okay, what deleted items do I often search for? I need to forward the new inbox.
You have to like archive everything.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
I'll figure it out.
It's gonna be the Wild Wild West on Saturday when Josh Hodson might be hosting Blue Jay Overtime.
Someone will be hosting it.
Someone will. Hopefully I get to enjoy my vacation. We'll talk about someone who's gone on vacation. He's actually putting some hard work in right now. It's Matt Rule, the Nebraska football team. We touch on quickly on that, along with Sam Hoiberg and Rink Mask. We talk to Steve Sipple at 12:20. We go through the important women of history at 12:45 and bring on a very important woman in Omaha broadcasting right now, Lauren Michaelson. All that and more coming up on Middays with Matt.
Stibbs working his magic fingers.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
And don't forget to go to 1620thezone.com. We have a lot of different contests that you can enter to go and win tickets. Journey, they're in Lincoln. Chris Stapleton, he's in Lincoln. The Black Keys are going to be around. If you want to go to 1620thezone.com and give yourself an opportunity to win your way to some of these contests, we're giving away these tickets like it's candy. I mean, like it's Halloween. I mean, we want to give you these opportunities. We want to give you these tickets. So go to 1620thezone.com. Do yourself a favor. Enter yourself in these contests. Enter yourself in these and give yourself the ability to not have to pay to go to Journey, right? You don't want to have to pay to go to Journey on Thursday, April 9th at Pinnacle Bank Arena, right? You know what you should do instead? You should listen on Sportsmanlike Conduct for a chance to win your way to the show. That's what you should do. All right? You don't want to pay to go to Joe Coy at the Holland Center on April 17th. Go to 1620thezone.com. You want to pay to see George Thorogood and the Destroyers? No. We're going to give you an opportunity to go to the baddest show on earth tour at the Astro.
Save your money. Use it on beer.
Yes, because beer is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
If I were elected mayor of Omaha, I would lower the price of beer.
Okay.
How well do you think that campaign would do?
I mean, I think you'd win in a landslide.
See? I would have Fleetwood Mac back me.
I see what you did there.
Do we?
Oh, yeah.
Go for it. Who said I wasn't cultured? We did say, by the way, I do fully admit that when we were doing the game with Mike Schaefer of like, give me a movie this actor was in, I definitely was playing into what is the most random movie I can think of and that this person was in. But that wasn't a joke. I get Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Gosling confused all the time. I really do. They're like the same person.
I guess I could see that.
We want to give a shout out real quick to one of our listeners.
Yeah, this was listener Mike, right?
Listener Mike.
That narrows it down to just about 1 million people. But.
We got a gift from the Nebraska Council on Problem Gambling. So we want to thank
Bet-free Mike.
Bet-free Mike, who sent us this, sent us some peeps. He sent us some popcorn. So thank you. You know,
anything that didn't start with a P.
We got a nice note about.
Is there some literature in there for you?
There is some literature in here for me about
it is horse racing season.
But oh wow, we have a letter from Mike. Actually, we'll go ahead and read that. This was actually a very personalized gift basket, and the only reason I know that is because there's a Red Bull energy drink in here for you.
Whoa, I left my wallet at home today. This is amazing.
And a white Monster energy drink for me.
Okay, look.
You
know how parents say they don't have a favorite child?
We do have a favorite listener.
We have a favorite listener, okay? The rest of you need to step your game up.
Real quick.
I shouldn't be paying for Red Bulls. You should be providing them for me, audience.
Have I ever talked about the fact that I love Charleston Chews on the show?
I don't remember if you have.
Dude, he got his
box
mini
of
Charleston Chews.
Wow.
Look at this. This is great. Here, let's open up the letter. See what.
Skim it first. It might not be
good for air.
Yeah.
No, I think Mike is I don't think he's swearing on the air or anything.
No, not swearing, but it might be a personal note to us.
Oh, good point. Let's see. Oh, we have we got his card and we got stickers for Nebraska Problem Gambling.
Stickers.
Okay. March is Problem Gambling Awareness Month.
That's coming up.
Thank you both for putting up with me and your understanding of problem gambling awareness. We don't put up with you. Bet-free, Mike. We love you. So thank you for the gifts. We appreciate it very, very much. Charles writes in the YouTube chat. He's talking about being a horse. He writes, good gig if you can get it.
Absolutely.
What do I have to do to apply to be a Kentucky Derby racehorse?
A horse?
I actually know the answer to that question. You have to run in the Fountain of Youth Stakes this weekend.
This coming weekend?
Yes, February 28th. It's going to be a good race.
Are we going to preview it today, or do you just want to record something before you leave and we can air it tomorrow?
You know, Velasquez is riding this. It's a Todd Pletcher horse, and I love Pletch. I think he's a really, really good trainer. Jackson Hole, he's 8-1. Now, Commandment, who's
a city,
is getting ridden by Irad, but I don't like Irad Ortiz.
Terrible jockey.
I will give you one.
Way overrated.
He's a 9-2, which means he's a 4.5-1.
I know fractions. Yeah.
My grandfather used to say, Matt, when William Mott has a horse, we bet on William Mott's horse.
Okay, I like this.
And Bill Mott has a horse called Chief Wallaby. And it's ridden by the one and the only Junior Alvarado, who's a stud.
Number one in our hearts.
I like Chief Wallaby and I like Jackson Hole. They're both, I'm never like going to bet the chalk. I'm not betting Irad and Brad Cox and Commandment. Get out of here.
Those are sucker bets.
I mean, probably not. Probably not. But at the same time, what's 2-1 going to make you on a I don't like betting 2-1.
Double.
I don't know. It's an 11 horse race. There's a lot of good horses out there. A lot of really. Look at the lineup here.
You here to make money or you here to win?
Velasquez, Rosario, Ortiz, Alvarado.
What a lineup.
Flavian Pratt. You got Carmucci in there too. I mean, it's a good one.
The mooch?
Don't act like you know who. Stop it. Mike goes, I'm glad I dropped stuff off right after horse sex talk.
You just missed it,
You
Mike.
just missed our best segment we've ever done on the show. We'll go
Probably
to
getting a Marconi.
Should we submit this for best local radio show?
I think the Nebraska Broadcasters Association would love to listen to that.
They're going to
segment,
be
yes.
gushing over the fact that I literally said, out of all of the athletes that I would ever want to be, I would want to be a horse that has sex all day.
Your reasoning was sound.
Thank you. I'd be a champion that gets to enjoy the rest of my life.
All the oats you can eat.
Seth has 2 poll questions for us.
Okay. Hi, Seth.
Would you choose to be a racehorse? Have you ever peed your pants in a car?
It is poll question Thursday.
So, John writes in.
Hi, John.
On the Equitable Bank inbox where they take banking personally. Shout out old man Doug, pick him the first ring. The Bears used the number 1 pick on Caleb Williams. He will never be a top NFL quarterback, and I could even see that. Get out of here, John. He's just trying to bait me.
Are you going to take it, though?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Oh, we have a great tweet from or email from Baymom.
Hi, Baymom.
Oysterfest. He sent me a photo and he said,
Shucks.
this photo came up on my scroll and thought I'd shared it with you once if my daughters will have nothing. One of my daughters will have nothing to do with oysters, but my other twin is all about them. And we crush a pile of them on the half shell. We're at Shucks probably every 3 or 4 weeks. Is Oysterfest at Shucks happening? Am I a fake fan for not knowing this?
TBD on that.
Okay. I'm willing to be called out. Unfortunately, can't go to Shucks this week. Might go to Shaw's, though. If you know, you know.
Okay.
That's like I don't want to insult Shucks and call that like the big boy Shucks, but that's just the Shucks of Chicago, which is in like
Chicago Shucks.
Chicago Shucks. How about that? Maybe that should be my restaurant. When I open it up, when I become a very successful broadcaster and think I have to accomplish more things.
Like, okay, second phase of my career, restaurateur.
Everybody knows that everybody who succeeds at something opens up a restaurant and it fails terribly. Okay? All the billionaires think that they can own an NBA team and it'll go well for them, and all the millionaires think they can open up a restaurant.
Many a Husker athlete has tried to open up a restaurant.
Even Michael Jordan.
Many of them have failed.
Even Michael Jordan couldn't figure out a way to get a restaurant off the ground.
Mm-hmm. And a basketball team.
Even Spider-Man couldn't get a.
I mean, if Spider-Man can't run a restaurant,
get me photos of Spider-Man. You like my J. Jonah Jameson?
It's decent. One of your better ones.
Ryan in Delaware writes in, please don't talk about horse sex and gushing in the same sentence. From the 402.
Hi, 402.
Be careful about wanting to be a racehorse. The difference between being a Triple Crown winner and a glue stick is a thin line.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew. Is that our Andrew?
Well, if they're communicating with the show, then they're ours. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I'm talking about the, hey, Matt.
Oh, Creighton Andrew.
Creighton Andrew.
I don't know.
I miss him. I think I'm pretty sure he's a teacher, so can't text. Do you know who is someone who takes pride in being a good teacher? Who takes pride in trying to coach people up?
Found your on-ramp.
It's Matt Rule. Matt Rule is big on teaching. He's big on the process. He's big on being able to develop players. It's his bread and butter. And it's also, too, a very important sticking point for him when he's talking about coaches that he hires. He had an interview yesterday after one of the spring practices with Kyle Crooks, and he was asked about Rob Orge and being in the meetings, which, apparently Matt Rule gets called out by some former coaches for not being in meetings, but admits that he's been in defensive meetings with Rob Orge and has been very impressed with his technique and coaching and how he gets his players up with the system. Let's put a pin in that. Let's put a pin in Matt Rule being a teacher and Matt Rule being a good developmental coach. Right? Let's put a pin in that real quick. We're going to get back to that. But remember that. Matt Rule emphasizing teaching, Matt Rule emphasizing development. Pin put. I got this email last night from Steve. Steve writes it, no subject. Because it might be a blessing Nebraska won't be good these next 2 years with Matt Rule in charge. I hear they won't / can't fire him because it is too high of a buyout. A great year in 2 hires could be Bob Chesney, the former James Madison University head coach that just got hired at UCLA. Steve continues. The guy is solid. He's a winner. UCLA will be vast improved. Sincerely, Steve. This got me thinking. This had my mind everywhere. Okay, this had my mind on Bob Chesney. It had my mind on UCLA. Had my mind on Eric Morse over in Oklahoma State. It had my mind on Matt Rule. It had my mind on Baylor and Temple. This email put me in a lot of different places when I read it because, admittingly, yes, right now the Matt Rule era is not going in the direction that people want it to go. The Matt Rule era has not followed the timeline that we thought it would follow. At the same time, though, I haven't thought of anyone else being the next head coach of Nebraska. And it has not racked my brain of who could be the next guy in charge for UNL. That has not been a thought on my mind. But it clearly is a thought on Steve's mind. And so my question to people is it a thought on a lot of people's minds? Is this something that a lot of people are thinking of already, who the next head coach of Nebraska is going to be potentially? Because then it got me to think, we're not that far away from potentially having a lame duck 2027. If Nebraska football has a stinker of a season this year, and the response to that is this great 2027 class that they have put so much time and investment in ends up not coming to Nebraska because of the stinker of the 2026 that they have, and the vision isn't there, we very well could be, we are much closer than maybe I first anticipated of having a lame duck 2027, where you head into the season thinking, yeah, Matt Rule probably ain't going to be the coach of 2028. Right? We're very close to heading into a 2027 where it is a Hail Mary to get this thing going the way that you want it to go. And if that doesn't happen, right? If Matt Rule has a stinker of a 2026, that's because, and this is where we take the pin out, Matt Rule wasn't as good of a developer as we thought he was. Matt Rule wasn't as good of a teacher as we thought he was, because we believed that that's what Nebraska needed in order to go to the top. And then we kind of, the snowball of thought goes down the line of something that Josh Peterson brought up on USC not too long ago. Because immediately when I think of people already thinking that Matt Rule, or people already thinking of other coaches that could be Nebraska's head coach in the future, the potential of being close to a lame duck season, and the potential of Matt Rule not being the head coach in 2 years for Nebraska football, immediately I think, okay, what is the main thing that we're going to talk about? What is the main thing that we're going to say didn't happen? Why did this occur? And I think the main thing that would happen if Matt Rule weren't to be successful is he didn't develop players enough as he thought. But a thought that was sparked by Josh Peterson in the conversation they had at USC was, what if Matt Rule was a really good hire in 2023, but college football changed so much from 2023 to now that he was the wrong type of hire? That college football, you no longer need a guy rooted in player development. You no longer need a guy who's going to have a long lead up to developing players and have a long process of building up to being a winner. What if you just need a guy who knows how to evaluate, knows how to recruit, has connections in college football already, and can make you a winner right away? You just need that guy. You need the guy who can go from one school to another school, bring some of his players, completely rehaul the program, and be a winner immediately. Maybe you need that guy, which is why I have my eyes on Eric Morris at Oklahoma State. I have my eyes on Eric Morris at Oklahoma State because Oklahoma State is going to try and replicate what Indiana did. Oklahoma State hired Eric Morris because of the success he had at North Texas. They hired Eric Morris because they knew that he could bring guys with him from North Texas to Oklahoma State. I have my eyes on that. If that ends up
You're
being
looking to hire him away, and he hasn't even coached a game yet?
No. I'm not looking to hire him away. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I have my eyes on Eric Morris because if that works out at Oklahoma State, you now have a proof of concept that you can replicate what happened at Indiana. That Indiana isn't a Signetti thing. It's actually a structural thing. It's actually a concept that you can pull from.
I would like to offer the theory, because a lot of people are going to call in or suggest that over the next 3 to 5 years. What if, now follow me on this.
Yeah.
Indiana was a special set of circumstances that cannot be replicated.
And Josh Odson, that's probably the case. But if Eric Morris is successful in Oklahoma State,
sure.
and we have a second coming of, hey, here's a guy at a smaller school who was a winner, who brought his guys over and completely rehauled the program and attacked it from an immediate perspective and not a long-term perspective. Now you have the concept you can do that. That's why I'm keeping an eye on him. Because if Eric Morris works out in Oklahoma State and Matt Rule doesn't end up working out here in Nebraska, that's got to be the plan of attack. Now, I'm not on Steve's boat right now. I'm not thinking of who Nebraska is going to hire next. I don't have eyes elsewhere. I'm still very focused on what Matt Rule is going to do. I still think there is a path for Matt Rule to be successful at Nebraska. I do. I'm not going to lie to you, right? I know there are a lot of people who don't. I know that it's the popular thing to kind of doubt him and to look at what they've accomplished so far and say, well, this isn't going to work out. I'm not fully there yet. Okay. And if I'd rather be the last one on the boat going out than the first one going on, going on the boat out, because I believe in what I believe, and I've seen, and I think that there are things that they're doing that could have Matt Rule be successful in Nebraska. Has my confidence in that decreased over the last 12 months? You bet your ass it has. Absolutely. But still, I see it. I see the concepts of what can happen at Nebraska, and I see what Matt Rule's trying to build. I haven't given up on that yet. But there are some people who have two eyes on other coaches right now, and I want to know if there are more people who do. I'm not going to act like I don't have like a quarter of one eye, maybe, on things that are happening at other places in the country. But I still very focused on what Matt Rule is doing here. We'll see if our guest coming up next feels the same. Steve Sipple joining us here on Middays with Matt. Coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Soul.
We bring in, not at a normal time, at a different time today, Mr. Steven M. Sipple from Husker Online on 3 and 93.7 The Ticket. Sip, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing good. And you, Matt, how are you?
I'm doing great. What was I don't mean to intrude here, but I am curious. You're a very busy man. What were you doing today?
Oh, I don't just rambling. I got off vacation.
Oh,
And yeah, I mean, I was just sort of getting back into the world a little bit.
I like that. Where'd you go on
Yeah,
vacation?
so, yeah, I wasn't quite ready to roll, but I'm ready now.
Where'd you go on vacation?
Well, every year, me and 3 of the grandkids go to an NBA game, and we went to Milwaukee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we saw Milwaukee, and yeah, not a lot of your listeners would say that, but we liked it. They want, it was their idea. We always go to an NBA city. So the last 7 years, we've gone to an NBA city, and they picked Milwaukee this year under, they kind of, when we make the plans, it's how we made them right when the NBA schedule came out, whenever that is.
Yeah.
Thinking, with the Giannis, and of course he didn't play, but I don't even care who plays really. I just like going to the NBA arena. I'm an NBA fan.
Yeah.
Which is almost
Weird.
controversial to say now. No, it's almost like controversial. Like
I don't find it controversial as much as I just find it a little surprising. Now, you admittingly, though, have watched a lot of college basketball this year.
yeah, and I've liked the NBA since I was a boy.
Yeah.
Since I was 7 or 8. So yeah, I don't find it weird. I love it's. I mean, what I always struck by is how much higher the level of play is. It's almost ridiculous.
Yeah.
I do like the college game this
Yeah.
year, or in the last couple of years, because the level of play has gone up. But there were years where college basketball was simply hard to watch.
I agree with
bad.
that. I agree with that.
Yeah, but not now. A lot of the guys are staying. They're paying them, and it reflects in the level of play.
Well, you've seen it too. Like we used to have guys who would be like second round draft picks, and they were like sophomores in college basketball, and they would leave, and now they stick
Right.
around because they get paid a ton of money, And so we've had
a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a funny thing too. I don't mean to make fun of you of being an NBA fan, because I used to be a massive NBA fan as well. But I think I don't know. I've kind of lost a little bit of interest in it, but I've gained the interest in college basketball. That Pfizer Forum though that you went to, I've been there a couple of times. It's a great stadium or a great arena. It's phenomenal.
Oh, I liked it. Yeah, it's pretty standard fare NBA. But we've gone to Denver, and we've gone to Oklahoma City and Memphis a few times. And they all kind of seem the same, to be honest. But
Yeah.
it was a good crowd, and it was loud. And the Bucks won again last night. I think they've won 9 of 11 now. Without, I don't know if they're all without Giannis, but the last few for sure have been. So I like them without Giannis. Didn't bother me one bit.
Let's talk about Nebraska football. I got a couple of questions for you. These last couple of seasons, and really since I've been here, Steve, like every year there's been expectations. There has been this optimism. There's been this belief of like, yeah, these guys may not all improve the way that I think they will, but we're going to roll with it. And we think that, Nebraska can take advantage of an easy schedule, or things might be able to bounce their way, or these teams may not be as good. And for the most part, just those expectations have not been met. This is probably the first time since I've been here, which is 2020, where the expectations and the hype and the optimism haven't been very high. And there's a part of me that looks at it and says, okay, there's a reason for the pessimism. There's a reason for the negativity. But then there's also a part of me that says, we've had all this optimism in the past, and it hasn't counted for anything. Do you think maybe they need this pessimism a little bit? Do you think maybe this program might be able to benefit from a quieter offseason, might be able to benefit from a side eye from the fans and maybe some parts of the media corps?
Yes, I do. I think there's something to be said for flying under the radar and not having a lot of expectations attached to you, and then when you get down to it, it's maybe opponents overlooking you a little bit. And that's, yeah, I think there's some benefits to this sort of quiet And yeah, I don't think it has to be a bad thing at all.
Sure.
And I don't think we're talking about a terrible team either. I don't know what exactly. No, I'm not getting into predictions right now.
No, God,
without
no.
having
No.
anything. But I don't know. No, I absolutely think it can be a positive.
And we just started in spring, right? And we're kind of getting the first initial reports and maybe whispers of, hey, this guy looks good, or this guy looks good, or he's had a good week of practice, or things are coming along in the defensive end. Is there one thing that you might have in the back of your mind, Steve, where you're like, I need to hear about this? I need to get an answer about what this position battle looks like, or who this specific player, like what this specific player is looking like, or has this D lineman taken the next step up? Is there kind of what, because you think this way? I know you think in terms of what questions might be answered. Is there a question that you need answered by the end of the spring?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, there's just a lot. I just think what tops the list, what they have to get under control is the defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, both from a pass rushing standpoint and a run stopping standpoint. I think most of us agree that follow the program closely that they didn't do enough in the portal.
No,
make that happen. And I'm there are only 3 practices in the spring. Nebraska's only 3 in, but I mean that stands as my biggest concern. You want to see how the kid from Boston College, Studemeyer, how he steps up. Can Jashir Whittington? I think Jashir Whittington, who's the D lineman that transferred from Pitt,
smaller guy,
will be fine third down. I think he's a third down. I think on third down, or passing downs, that'll look pretty good. But can he hold up against the run? That's one definite thing I'd want to see. You won't know. You won't know for a while on that.
Sure.
I don't know. They go to Michigan State, maybe against Ohio. Those things top the list. There's a bunch of guys you wonder if they're taking. I really wonder if Williams Winery is taking the next step. If Petchak, I like Petchak. Is he taking the next step? It's things like that. But generally, it's how well fortified are they up front on defense, and then you switch over to the O-line, which I'm a little bit more confident in because they did a better job in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Probably went in and got 3 starters, and that picture looks better to me. So my concerns are mostly defense, D-line, and then that opposite corner of behind Marshall, or opposite of Andrew Marshall.
No, I like the way that Rule talks about money. Like I think he does a good job of like not overstepping the boundary, but also making his intentions and opinions fairly clear. He essentially said, and this was my interpretation, and maybe he had a different one, Steve, and I'd love to hear it. But when he talked about money the last time, to me, reading between the lines, he said basically last year's price wasn't this year's price. And even though that we've never had more money to spend, we're going to need more of it. And you talk about the lackluster and the lackluster performance in the D line of the transfer portal. I just think the transfer portal in general was kind of lackluster, and we never really fully got an answer on that. Did those kind of comments about money and him maybe articulating that last year's price wasn't this year's price? Is that concerning to you? Does that kind of raise a red flag to you in any sort of regard?
No, not really.
Okay.
I think he verbalizes well where they're positioned, which isn't. They're not in the upper echelon of college football right now in terms of roster price. I mean, they're not in that $40 to $50 million range.
No,
they're probably more $25 million range. You can make that work. I think he's been okay in the way he's conveyed that to people. I don't think he's tried to mislead. I think we all, if you follow, again, for those who follow it closely, have a pretty good handle. There are this group of teams that has just more money available. LSU probably leads the way right now.
Yeah.
They're definitely in the $40 to $50 million range, and probably closer to 50. Texas Tech and Texas Texas A&M, kind of all schools you'd think
Mm-hmm.
you'd anticipate being in that realm. Miami's in that realm. Nebraska's not in that realm, but they're not in a realm that would make it inconceivable for them to compete at that level. They should be able to. I do think they did a pretty good job in the portal elsewhere. They didn't get the deal needed, in my opinion, unless Whittington's better than I think. Now, hold on. I got to back up. I think Whittington will be good on third down. I just wonder if he can stop the run. The kid from Boston College, I just don't know. I don't. Yeah. We'll see. You got.
And by the way, your concerns about Whittington come from the fact the guy's like 6 foot, like 6 foot, 6'1". He's not a very big human.
Oh, he's 6'2", 270.
Yeah.
It's not. But I do think he has some dog in him, and I do think he can help on passing downs right now. I just wonder about the run.
So I agree with you. Like, I think they did a good job of retaining guys. And I think and Pat Stewart talked about it in his radio with Husker Sports Network, right? Where it's like, hey, we wanted to address our needs. But when you convey to me, we're not at the top, but we're in striking distance, I think, okay, well, you're not in the top 5 and you're not in the top 10, but maybe you're 14 to 18 and you're 14 to 20 maybe. They weren't even in the top 25 in the transfer portal recruiting class rankings. And you go ahead and you look at, Sam from the Omaha World Herald kind of talked about like, the money and all that things and what can Nebraska do. I guess my question to you is like, when it comes to money, is it just really Nebraska crossing their fingers that they get this, super mega rich angel donor? Like what does Nebraska, in your opinion, Steve, have to do to legitimately close the gap to actually get into striking distance from the $40 million roster that apparently LSU has?
Yeah, I hope that people don't think that way. It feels like we're going down the road. When we kind of butted heads over this the other day, where all the answers that everybody has seems to be money. If that's, some people think that way. There's a lot that goes into football. There's a lot that goes into the sport of football that ranges way beyond money that determines success. Not every year in the major leagues does the highest price roster win at all. It doesn't work that way all the time.
Yeah, great point.
It just doesn't. There's a lot in football. There's a lot. There's a lot. That Nebraska. I wish I would see Nebraska play like an underdog. I've wished that for a long time. I hardly ever see it because they don't get treated like an underdog.
Mm-hmm.
We don't treat them like an underdog. We treat them like we're covering the New York Yankees, and I think the players get it kind of settles into the program's DNA, settles into the players a little bit, and they approach it like they're the Yankees when they're not. They're Tampa.
Yeah,
and that's what. I wish the mentality was more of that. I wish I would see on Saturday a team that plays with that sort of underdog hard edge. Now I got to be careful. I'm not a hypocrite. You don't want to be in that world all the time because then you're just in that world. You're just an eternal underdog, and you don't want that. But for right now, I wish I'd see a little bit more of that. But that's a culture discussion, and then there's all of the football matters, like the game day coaching on the sideline hasn't been great.
Yeah.
You don't see great execution. You haven't seen it. You see mistakes. So the pictures, there's just a long way to go in the whole thing.
Steve, I couldn't agree more with you. And I think it's full circle to our conversation, to the first question I asked you about having an under the radar offseason, because you're right. Like, you can outperform your salary. You can outperform how much you spend on players. And Nebraska hasn't done that. They haven't outperformed that. And the way that you get more money, and we're going to see this with basketball, Steve, is that basketball is outperforming how much money they have. And in tow, what are they going to get now, Steve? More money. They're going to get more people who want to give them money because they've outperformed expectations. Nebraska needs to outperform expectations. And I think your point about playing like an underdog, I hope that's what comes out of people doubting them and having an under the radar offseason. I hope that is the result of all of this.
I hope so too, because then they'll have a good shot. I think.
Yeah,
to get to 5 and maybe make some waves. That's a great. I'm glad you mentioned Fred because Fred just didn't succumb to. Look, I'm middle of the pack, Big Ten in terms of what I can pay, and maybe not even middle of the pack, probably middle of the pack. But we're not going to just throw up our arms, and say we can't beat Purdue. Well, they didn't, but we're not going to throw up our arms. We can't win at Illinois. Look what they pay. No, I mean,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
You can do it.
You're right.
You can 100% do it. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it has to. I hate the linear conversation, people that, well, you got to spend or you're in trouble. It doesn't always equate. It's just not. It doesn't guarantee anything. I saw a Texas Tech team get beat in the first round of the playoff. They didn't look like that team to me. Mainly because of the quarterback, which they went and got. So now they will. But
sure.
Yeah, I'd like to see them do what Fred's doing. Don't perform higher than the level you spend.
Absolutely. Steve, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate you making time for us. You're always the best. Appreciate this conversation. We'll talk to you next week.
God bless you. See you later.
God bless you too, Stephen M. Sipple. Coming up next, a very highly anticipated segment. A segment that we hope doesn't get us taken off the air. A segment that may not last too long.
It's educational.
An educational segment educating me on the women of the past that have shaped our future. From the voice of Josh Hodson. Coming up next on Middays with Matt.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Soul.
So last week I had a revelation. It has been a thing at this radio station for the last, I've been here for like 14 months. Time has flown by. That I shockingly know little of the things that happened, certain things that happened when I was born. In particularly pop culture. Okay. I know a lot about things that happened when I wasn't born in terms of sports, but in terms of movies, in terms of actors, specifically actresses. We found out last week that I probably know the least amount about the women in pop culture that have shaped who we are today. And so Josh Hodson, amongst others, Mike Schaefer, Black Cat, the listeners at home have given Josh Hodson some names, and Josh Hodson has picked names, probably along with his wife as well.
I've had a lot of fellow contributors, I guess,
of people in pop culture that I must know about. Okay, that it's a shame that I don't know that these women have impacted who we are as a society today. So in doing that, we start this week's and the very first edition of This Week in Women's History with Josh Hodson. Josh, 5 names today. 5 names, okay. 5 women.
5
who have impacted culture before I was born.
Yeah, I want to be clear. If you come in on the segment late, you're going to think it's something else. I want to be clear. This is merely educating Matt on people who had a stranglehold in pop culture.
Yes. For various reasons. Some might be similar to others.
All right. This is the name I probably got the most over the last week.
Here we go. I'm typing. I'm ready. Actually, let me open up Chrome.
Yeah. Incognito window.
No, we don't. Why do we need to be incognito?
To warrant their place in history.
Okay. Very good.
Phoebe Cates.
Let me get off of my work email.
Definitely.
Phoebe, never heard of this woman. Cates with the Phoebe Gates?
Cates, Cates.
Okay, she's a retired American businesswoman.
Okay.
And actress.
Yeah.
Okay. She was in what? Fast Times?
Yeah, Fast Times at Ridgemont High is probably the thing you'd want to.
What is Ridgemont High? I've heard so much about Ridgemont High.
That was the name of the school.
Yeah, okay. And they did what at Ridgemont High that Phoebe Cates was such a...
All the children at Ridgemont High learned about the birds and the bees over the course of a magical weekend or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I see said birds and said bees.
Sean Penn was in this movie, Matt.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
I don't know who that is.
Sean Penn?
I've heard of him. I've heard of Sean Penn.
Many people asking you to add Phoebe Cates' bikini to the search.
No,
but this
no, that's not what it's about. She does very much like the color red.
It's a good color on her.
It's, some would say there's a great picture of her, I think, in her 40s and when she in red.
I don't know how to explain Sean Penn to you. I'm still stuck on that.
I've heard of Sean Penn before.
Okay. He was in One Battle After Another recently with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Is he an infamous human?
I don't know if he's infamous. I mean, I believe he has 2 Oscars.
Okay. Yes, I'm Phoebe Cates. Okay. Wow. What an impact she had.
What an impact. Next
looks great in red.
Next one. Yeah, she does. Tia Carrera.
Tia?
You might know her being from Illinois.
She was in Lilo and Stitch. Oh, I've seen this woman.
Mm-hmm. Wayne's World. Did you have to watch Wayne's World a bunch as a kid?
Wayne's World. I did not see the movie. I saw the SNL.
That's fine.
Yeah, she's also been in recent movies. Yeah.
Incredibly. Didn't
is she
know
Hawaiian?
I believe so.
There's a lot of beach pictures of Tia.
Just a good setting for her.
Just a really, really brings out her. She has very pretty hair.
Pretty hair.
She was on the Rich Eisen show?
Everyone is.
Oh, should talk about somebody who's aged gracefully. Not that that has mattered.
It's not what the segment's about.
It's not what the segment is about.
Mhm.
What Phoebe Cates was to red, Tia Carrera is to the color black.
Okay.
That's yes.
Next on the list, this is the one person on today's list that I think you might know.
Okay.
Now, you did end up kind of remembering Tia Carrera, so. Tara Reid.
No.
Okay.
Tara Reid. Sounds like a... No, I've never seen this.
Okay.
Terrific.
She was in the American Pie movies.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
She was also more recently in the Sharknado films.
Okay.
I think she also was in Big Lebowski for like 12 seconds.
Wait. Who's the guy who hosts The Voice?
Carson Daly.
Yeah, there's a picture of him and her. Were they dating? Was Carson Daly
I think
dating
they
Tara
dated
Reid?
at one point.
Was
yes.
Carson Daly a big deal in like the 90s or 2000s?
Oh, okay. This is a great spot, Matt.
Yeah.
When I tell you Carson Daly was the most famous.
There's no way.
No, Matt.
There was no way.
Matt.
He's a schlub for The Voice.
For people ages 12 to 19 in like, I'm going to go 96 to 2000. Carson Daly was the single most famous person in the world.
That's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. That's no. I thought Carson Daly was just, this guy specializes in hosting.
Nope.
You're telling me The Voice was like him trying to get his career back on track?
Yes.
So what did he do?
He hosted a show on MTV in the afternoons, like at 2 or 3 o'clock. I can't remember what, called Total Request Live. Where
I've never heard of this.
Oh my gosh, Matt. Okay. I love that we're here, by the way. He played the top 10 music videos. Like, hey, here's the top 10 songs in America today. And people voted on it. You would call, or I think later on in the show, you emailed.
The dad bod guy from The Voice.
Yes.
Who was basically kissing CeeLo Green and Christina Aguilera's ass.
Yes.
For an hour a week on national television, was the most famous man in the world at one point.
For people ages 12 to 19, yes.
Wow. And so this beautiful woman, Tara Reid, dated this guy?
I believe, now here's another name.
He's got a double chin in 1999. You're telling me that this guy was an enigma?
Matt, we could do a list of important women throughout pop culture history that are just Carson Daly's ex-girlfriends.
That is crazy.
He dated Jennifer Love Hewitt as well.
I don't know who that is.
Let's add her to the list. Jennifer Love Hewitt.
She comes up right away. Okay. Wow.
She has a nickname that we can't say on the radio. If you know, you know.
There she is with Carson Daly. What is this?
This is fascinating to me.
What is going on? And he's like, okay, now I see. He's a little more strapping in some of these pictures.
He was a little thinner in the late 90s, yes. But, I mean, 9/11 took a toll on all of us.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
On the plane today, Rent
the
Movie Can't Hardly Wait.
Was Carson Daly's nickname Dime Store? Is that
Dime Store Daily?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I'm telling you, there has to be a YouTube video about like how big TRL was, because you should just educate yourself on that. You'd be fascinated that children,
the schlub from The Voice,
children ran home after school and didn't hang out with friends to watch TRL.
That was
a
like
cultural touchstone of which there might not be anything bigger.
So what? TRL was like the PTI of pop culture?
Yes.
Who's more famous, Tony Kornheiser or Carson Daly?
Carson Daly. Okay. Next name on the list.
Okay.
Important women throughout history that Matt may not know of, and sometimes we go on tangents. Christy Brinkley.
She's the woman who ruined Billy Joel.
I would put it the other way around, but yes.
Okay. This is what I was saying Connor Happer said this to me.
Yeah.
This is Connor Happer's opinion. Yeah, I mean, a little Heidi Klum, if you will.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Or maybe Heidi Klum was Christy Brinkley. It's probably more accurate.
Yeah, that's definitely more accurate.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
mhm.
she just when I look at Christy Brinkley, I think of the song All American, All American Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Chrissy Brinkley realized she couldn't live with Billy Joel. Let's visit this People magazine article.
It was a
relationship?
It was a tumultuous end.
Okay. All right.
I believe documentaries have been made about it.
Really? Was that bad?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's another woman that you've picked that a lot of her pictures are on the beach.
Oh yeah, she's a beach gal.
Okay. Are any of these girls bar gals?
Bar gals.
What are the chances that I meet any of these women at the Underwood Tavern?
Tara Reid is the only one on this list that you might run into at a bar.
Okay.
We don't judge.
We don't judge it?
Yeah.
At all? Okay. Do we have one? How many more do we have? One or two?
Well, we'll do one more.
Okay.
Let's do Jennifer Beals.
Any relation to Jessica?
No, this is Beals.
Oh, okay. So Bradley with a extra S.
Yeah. Gotta
we gotta
make
sure.
it sports for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Stick to sports. I wanted to play it.
I'm sorry. Many of the people know Jennifer from her work in Flashdance. We also would have accepted the Denzel Washington movie Devil in a Blue Dress.
Oh, I see Flashdance. Okay.
Mhm.
See,
We also would have accepted the Denzel Washington movie The Book of Eli.
How old is she?
62, according
No
to Google.
way.
Great reaction to that bit of information.
There
Matt.
is no way.
I would agree.
Holy Lord. What does she have? She's from Chicago. She went to Yale? Who is this Amazon? This woman was born in 1963. She went to Yale. She was in multiple famous movies. And she looks like she hasn't aged a day.
I mean, Flashdance came out when she was 20. She probably filmed it when she was 18, 19.
My goodness.
She's from the south side of Chicago.
Where did she go to high school? That's sorry.
All right, I'll look it up. Maybe it's in there. Maybe it's in the wiki.
She went to there's no high school.
Ah, that's too bad.
Wait, I can look at it. I'm telling you right now, sometimes it's definitely written an article about where she went. Come on. There's no way. This is
she graduated from Francis W. Parker School in Chicago.
She went to Parker.
That's what the wiki
I'm
says.
kidding, by the way. I have no idea where that is. That is such like a
you delivered it with such conviction. I believed
right?
you.
South of she wasn't from. She was on the south side, but she went to school south of Lincoln Park. That's not south side. You're in the loop, hon. You're by Lakeview. She's by the Lincoln Park Zoo. She wasn't on the south side of Chicago. God, like the Field Museum is the south side of Chicago. If she's in the south side of Chicago, get out of here. That's ridiculous. Okay.
These are women who have contributed great things to our nation's pop culture landscape, and we thank them for it.
So you really beat around the bush with Sean Penn. That kind of worried me a little bit. You said you couldn't even explain who he was. By the way, the most shocking revelation here is that Carson Daly used to be the crap.
Oh, yeah. No, that had me much more intrigued than trying to tell you the movies that Sean Penn was in.
Fair enough. I'm sure I'm going to open up the text message to Mike Schaefer here in any minute.
He contributed a couple of those names today.
Okay. Great job. Look, we got educated.
Thank you. Really learned a lot about MTV and TRL.
Did we earn a second week of This Week in Women's History?
Now, we got to be very careful because the next week we do this will be in the month of March, which is Women's History Month. I feel we did a great job today of not commenting on certain things we could have commented on.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Phoebe Cates just looks phenomenal in red.
She does. That's a fact. That's not us being crass.
She looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Dave writes, I'm 40 and this pisses me off that Matt is pop culture illiterate, but I think that means I like it.
That you get the bit then.
TRL was must see every day for 80s and 90s kids. What is TRL?
Total Request Live. Top 10 songs each and every day as voted on by the listeners.
All right. Yeah. Coming up next, who's more important, Sam Hoiberg or Rick Mast? We answer the question next on Middays with Matt.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Have some news from the Nebraska Athletic Department.
They've hired Carson Daly to host the spring game.
No, they have not.
That'd be a good get for UNL.
What if we got Carson Daly on Wacky Guess Wednesday? Would that be doable?
I can't imagine he's saying yes to a lot of Midwest radio interviews, but I mean, I can try.
Maybe it's so off the wall. Maybe just not Wacky Guess Wednesday. We just bring Carson Daly on, and I just have questions for him.
I believe he worked radio before MTV, so he might have an appreciation for getting back to his roots or something. Oh.
Coming from the Nebraska Athletic Department, Troy Dannon has hired Liz Sowers to be the first coach for women's flag football at the University of Nebraska. Liz Sowers is a 5-time national champion flag football coach at the NAIA level. Currently, she's going to finish the season coaching at her current school from Ottawa University in Kansas. She will be joined by her sister, Katie Sowers, who will be the associate head coach of flag football at the University of Nebraska. So congratulations to Liz and Katie Sowers for being named the first ever women's flag football coaches at the University of Nebraska, proven winners at the NAIA level. Liz is a 3-time KCAC Coach of the Year and owns an 88-8 record in her career as a head coach. She recruited athletes from 17 different states and 4 different countries to help build Ottawa into a powerhouse program. That being announced from Husker Athletics, the first ever coaches of women's flag football at Nebraska, Katie and Liz Sowers.
Monumental hire here.
This is
quite the resume. I didn't know what to expect from the resume of Nebraska's first women's flag football coach.
If we're being honest, Nebraska is the first Power 5 school to have women's flag football as a sport. And therefore, if you're the first Power 5 school to have women's flag football as a sport, do you know what you become? The premier job. You become the top job in women's flag football, which is kudos to Nebraska for getting ahead of this. And honestly, in a time and era where we are seeing more and more athletic departments having to slash programs because of the added cost of paying players through rev share, the fact that Nebraska athletics is able to add a sport to their repertoire is absolutely, it's astonishing. If I'm being honest with you, it's different. It's nobody. I mean, there aren't too many schools that are able to do that. I mean, we're seeing schools from across the country have to gut athletic departments, who have to slash program after program after program to survive. Nebraska athletics is able to add one, and they go ahead and they add women's flag football and add the premier coaches in women's flag football, and Liz and Katie Sowers, 5-time national champions at the NAIA level. Liz Sowers, the head coach, has an 88-8 record in her career. So big stuff for Nebraska sports. Another big thing for Nebraska sports currently right now is the basketball team killing it. They are 2 wins away from having from tying the 1991 team's record of 26 wins. They have 3 games remaining, a very good opportunity to break that record this season, whether it be through the last 3 regular season games, at least 1 game you'll get in the Big Ten tournament, and 1 game that you'll get in the NCAA tournament. And obviously, the main goal is to get that first ever and very elusive NCAA tournament victory. Big win yesterday for Nebraska, holding serve, officially ending the season without a Q3 or Q2 or Q4 loss this season. Also, we want to give a shout out here to the University of Minnesota and to Northwestern University, because both those teams recently have propelled up into the top 75 in the net rankings, giving the University of Nebraska 2 more quad 1 victories retroactively, meaning that Nebraska for quite a little bit was at 5 quad 1 wins. They're now at 7, which is tied with Houston, fun fact, and more than Gonzaga, and more than Iowa State, more than some 1 seeds, more than some 2 seeds. So shout out Minnesota and Northwestern for rising up the ranks. It was a big win for Northwestern, beating Indiana to do that. I had a question posed to me yesterday in a group chat from a good friend of mine. Who will be harder to replace this season? Sam Hoiberg or Rink Mast? I think on the surface, snap judgment, people go, oh, Rink. Like, he's integral, stretch 4, spacing. 1 point, probably not going to happen because of some of the inconsistent performance that he's had through the Big Ten play. But at one point, it was like, that might be the all Big Ten first team guy. Probably still will be all Big Ten second team or third team this season. But an integral part, and for much of the season was looked at as the best player on this basketball team until kind of Price Sanford took that mantle away from him. But if we're talking about like skill, like who are the most skilled players on Nebraska basketball, who are the best basketball players, right? Rink Mast is either second or third on the list. And Fred and Sam Hoiberg probably maybe 4th, could potentially be 5th, right? If we're talking basketball, right? If we're talking basketball skill. But, snap judgment, you might say, oh, it's Rink, because Rink is the better player. But when you think about it, man, and I was kind of sitting in this group chat and writing some things, and we all kind of thought about this. This team is going to miss Sam Hoiberg next season more than miss Rink Mask. This team is going to desperately miss Sam Hoiberg for a lot of reasons. Like, because when you say this team's going to miss Rink Mask, it's mainly two reasons. Well, his ability to stretch the floor, his size, his position, his rebounding, and you know what, just the versatility he brings on the offensive end. But when I give you reasons as to why you're going to miss Sam Hoiberg, right, there are a lot of reasons on the court, but there are a lot of reasons off the court as well that you cannot simply replace through a guy in the transfer portal, right? Don't get me wrong. Rink Mask is super important on both sides of the ball and very much a culture guy in this Nebraska basketball team, a foundation of this culture. He is so important to what's going on and off the court, right? But Sam Hoiberg, number one, is so multiple in what he does. 10 points this season, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, right? You just don't have a guy on this basketball team that does all of the things at the level that Sam does, right? Sam can shoot the three at 40% a clip. Sam can score double-digit points a game. Sam can distribute the ball without turning the ball over, one of the best assist-to-turnover ratios in the country. Sam can make the hustle plays, can make the 50-50 plays, can dive on the ground, can dive out of bounds and throw the ball off of another player and keep possession for Nebraska. Sam can pick the pocket of defenders or of offensive players. Like, there are guys who, are better scorers than Sam, or they're better shooters than Sam, and they might be better rebounders than Sam, but nobody can do all of those things at the level that Sam does it at. And that's a hard thing to find, right? That, just from a basketball perspective, it's hard to find guys who are, in this day and age, with how much we care about points and stats and, notoriety, it's hard to find guys who just do all those things at a high level and who are willing to put their body on the line to do it. But then there's the emotional aspect as well that you just can't replace. You're going to be, Rink Mask, his archetype, former all-conference mid-major player that stretches the floor from the power forward position. They're not dime a dozen. That's going to be hard to find. Okay, that's not going to be easy to find. And Sam Hoiberg, right, talking about all the things that he does at a high level for Nebraska, that's going to be hard to find too. But the one thing that just puts it over the edge for Sam in terms of being able to replace him is that he connects with this fan base so deeply. And there is nobody on the court that gets Pinnacle Bank Arena rocking more than Sam Hoiberg. There's nobody who forces as great of a reaction from the crowd when he makes a big play than Sam Hoiberg. And why is that? Because that guy went from being on the end of the bench 5 seasons ago and couldn't even be on the travel roster to being an integral piece of one of the greatest teams in this program's history. We saw that young man go from a, smaller, not as muscular coach's son to one of the most effective players in the Big Ten, to a guy that is going to get all Big Ten votes from coaches. We saw him go from a guy who couldn't even sniff the rotation to, I don't know what we would do without him. He went from a dude that couldn't lace some of these guys on the court's shoes, for a lack of a better term, to then we have Tom Izzo going, this kid is so good. We have coaches from across the Big Ten being like, that guy is so effective. I would kill to have that guy on my team. To see his growth, to see him develop from that to what he is now, you don't grab that out of the portal. You can't replicate that out of the portal. That's a connection that can only be built out of time. And Sam Hoiberg is like the human momentum swing. He is the human spark plug. He gets everybody into this game, into the game more than anyone. And then there's also there are so many people who are watching the game who are Sam's height, or who are who might be taller than Sam, or who can look at Sam, a 5'10" guy, and be like, wow, that's a guy that was told his entire life, you're not big enough to play at the Power 5 D1 level. Yeah, he's too small. He's not big enough. He's not strong enough. He can't. No. You can't have a. What does it mean if you have a 5'11" point guard in Big Ten play. It's the league is too physical. It's too big for him. He can't compete at that level. Sam Hoiberg is a guy that's easy to doubt. And what did he do? He put the hard work in the weight room, in the practice facility, developed a shot, got himself. You can't replicate that. And then at the same time, too, there is a cultural foundational aspect. Sam Hoiberg has been here the entire time this defensive system has been put in, right? You can't go in the portal and get a guy that understands what Nebraska is trying to do on the defensive end as much as Sam Hoiberg. Right? His connection with the fan base, his connection to the culture of this team, his understanding of the system, his understanding of, he grew up with the man, right? The man was his father. The understanding of his head coach's system, of his dad's system. You can go in, and this is no offense to Rink, because it's going to be so hard to do this, but you can find a guy like Rink Masks easier than you can find a guy like Sam Hoiberg. You can't, and it's more than just the basketball. It's everything else that comes with it. It's the connection to the team. It's the connection to the program. It's the connection to the fans. Sam Hoiberg is the heart and soul of Nebraska basketball. And in an era of time in our society where we scoff at nepotism and we make fun of and we can't stand quote unquote Nepo babies, that is a kid who has the last name to be that way, but earned everything that he's been given. The last name on Sam Hoiberg could be Sam Johnson. It doesn't matter because that's the impact he makes on the basketball court.
Some people are calling him that.
He just does. We live in a time, we live in an era where it's like all the people with the same last names are being given things. This guy was given nothing. Earned his opportunity because guys got hurt on the team, grab it, ran with it, and became the heart and soul of this basketball program. It's a beautiful story. And it's a guy that you just can't replace him. You just cannot replace the impact. You might be able to replace find a guy who does the things he does on the court. But you're sure as hell not going to be able to find a guy to do the things that he does off the court and the things that he does to inspire this fan base. It's going to be a Herculean task to get somebody like that again. So, and by the way, and I love this comment from Nathan. He goes, it's an unanswerable question. They both make a huge difference being on the court. Nobody in the nation gives more effort on every play than Sam, results in forcing turnovers and out rebounding everything. But Rink has so much in his bag, such a pretty post player with a baby hook, but will unalive you from three as well. Nathan, you're spot on. Like both these guys are going to be so tough to replace. But Sam, from an emotional aspect, man, you just can't grab them in the portal. You can't grab the reputation and the trust and the belief that he's built with this fan base. Coming up next, we talk to somebody who's been there to see him grow all the way through on the basketball court. Lauren Michaelson, KTV, coming up next.
Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone. Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt. I'm 20 minutes away from the weekend, my friend. Woo! I'm on. And then I have to go on a flight. I don't want to go on a flight. I hate flying. But something I don't hate doing is talking to our next guest from KETV. It's Lauren Potty Mouth Michaelson. Lauren.
Oh, is that my new nickname?
It's as easy. It's easy because it's surprising it came from you. If we had odds, right, of people who were to swear on the air at 1620 The Zone amongst the people brand new in our lineup, you would have been plus 2,500, plus 3,000. You would have been very low on the board because you're on TV, because you're trained within the FCC.
I know, you guys. What can I say? I wanted to keep you all. I needed to make sure everyone was awake in there, to catch it. It was a test.
That's a great
favor.
Okay, there you go. That's a phenomenal spin zone, by the way, that you wanted to make sure that everybody was doing their job, and so you did something you couldn't do. I totally respect that. I also do totally respect your coverage of everything across Nebraska. You've been everywhere. You've been in Omaha. You've been in Lincoln. You've been. You're going to be in Chicago in a couple of weeks. That'll be a ton of fun. Let's just talk about yesterday. Did the vibe ever get weird at PBA? Like, it's hard to tell on TV. Was there ever a point where you kind of saw some nervous energy from people being like, are they going to play like this the entire game? What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm worried. I jinxed that. I sent a text to someone like a half hour before the game and said something like, vibes are good in here tonight. Like, it just feels like they're going to play a really complete game and things feel loose and good. And Berke and DeMarcus are good to go. And let's just play some basketball. Like, let's look good.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, they come out of the gates like with their longest scoring drought to start a game of the season. And people are waiting to sit down, and you can't until finally Frager gets to the charity stripe, and it was just quiet and like weird vibes, and you're kind of like, oh no, what is going to happen? So that was surprising. Luckily, a win's a win. You don't have to have the flashiest win, and despite how out of sorts offensively they did look for the first half and some of the second, they did flip the game. About 12 minutes left, and of course, lo and behold, it's that defensive effort that really helped flip it. And huge credit to Nate Lenzer, not only this entire season, but especially last night for just a really creative defensive scheme.
Yep. And a very creative defensive scheme where Maryland outshot themselves too. I mean, they shot above their average, and still Nebraska was able to pull away a double-digit victory and keep a Big Ten team under 70, which is kind of, a key figure. If you can limit a team to under 70 points, you're typically going to be cooking with peanut oil. Your expectations right now, heading into the Big Ten tournament, heading into the NCAA tournament, like, are you expecting a second weekend appearance, Lauren Michaelson?
I would love that. I mean, I'd love to. I want to see this show continue as long as possible. I think a lot of the key to Nebraska having success in March comes down to one person, and that's Rink Mast.
Yeah.
They need him so badly right now. He's really struggling at the rim. Everyone knows it. You can see it. We need him to be that game-changing threat offensively, and I just don't know how they're going to get that win. That's the biggest thing, right? But this team is good enough. We've seen them be good enough to really have incredible success in March and to actually make a huge run at this thing. And you want to see them play to their full potential. And right now, Mass is just not doing that. And I just want to know there's something going on. It's speculation. Like, what is it? Because you could say he's kind of looked off since his ER trip and illness, but he was kind of cold beforehand too. So you never know what's going on, and he still affects the game in other ways, of course. But that is something that needs to flip.
Have you been to Lincoln at all for spring football?
I have not
been
yet. I've just been listening from the station and from home.
Do we have a B-roll day? Do we have a day where they have open practice yet? And
I am waiting for that. We have not. Nothing. They're not giving us the schedule. Things are being done really different which is fine. But yeah, I'm like, well, there we go.
It doesn't sound fine, Lauren. That doesn't sound like the tone of someone who's okay with that.
You know, we're planners. We like to plan. Yeah,
Yes.
no, you know, usually we'll get kind of a schedule, but everything's kind of 180. And you know what? Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you need to change. You know, they're moving to afternoon practices. Like, change can be good. Don't reinvent the wheel, but I think change is not a bad thing. Just I'm just itching to watch some practice. Like,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah,
God.
I feel that. And you know, I asked Steve Sipple this question. I'll ask you this question, like the same question. Do you think it's an advantage that like people are pessimistic about the team? Like, do you think it's an advantage that there aren't these super heightened expectations and people are like they should win 8 games? Do you think that could be an advantage for them?
Do I think it's an advantage that people are expecting Nebraska to win 8 games? Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm saying, do you think it might be an advantage or might be something good for them or positive for them that the expectations aren't as high as what they used to be?
No, I mean, I think with this team, like, you're always going to be chasing something, and that's just having national relevance and prominence and everything we talk about every season. So I think lower expectations don't really matter because the team's not going to have lower expectations. And you can say, oh, it's another rebuilding year. They have all these new coaches and new pieces, but like, that's also just the reality of college football nowadays anyway. So no, I think something does feel a little bit different around the program right now. Like, Rule kind of knows what's at stake and knows, like, okay, like, let's really make something happen here. Not that obviously they haven't tried in the last couple of years, but there's a different vibe around the program right now. Yes. Yeah,
I feel that too. And I do notice what you're noticing, where the tone is a little bit different and things, you know, maybe the walk is a little bit different and the strut is a little bit different, but I still trying to figure out if that's a good thing or a bad thing, you know, like I don't, and I don't think we'll know the answer to that until they start playing these games, which is way too long away. I need football back immediately. All right. I'll ask you 2 more questions before you get out of here. Lauren Michaelson, KETV. What are we covering here? What is the plan? What is your schedule looking like? Where are you going to be? What are the stories that people, when they see Lauren Michaelson, this is what she's going to be reporting on? Or you don't have to give away state secrets. It's totally up to you.
No, I am. Well, today's my Saturday. Today's my Saturday. So it's my weekend right now.
Hell yeah.
So we are going to take a beat because the next 2, March is just going to be absolutely crazy. Like, we're booked for Chicago, which is great. That's going to be a great time. Then wherever we'll be for the tournament. But you also have state basketball coming up.
Yeah.
And then you have, like, we're really tuning in to, like, baseball and softball are off to great starts. Same with, like, Omaha softball. I saw you guys had Coach Hurd on the other day, which is so fantastic. He's awesome. So there's just, like, a lot going on. So right now basketball is kind of ruling everything. But, you know, we're going to be traveling for everything. At least I am, with our photojournalist, Ben. We'll be in Chicago together. I know you said you may be there as well.
Yeah, TBD.
So hopefully it's a long trip.
Yep. We're looking. It's things are developing, so it should be fun. Have you made your reservation for Al's Beef?
So I've never eaten at Al's Beef, and I have family in Chicago, and they've only ever taken me to Portillo's. So I don't know if I'm missing out on something, or
you're missing out.
Industry secret is, or what?
No, I don't know if Al's definitely not as famous as Portillo's. I will give you that. But it's like at Portillo's, like, you can get the beef, like the beef is good, but like it's hot dogs. Like, you get hot dogs there, right? Like
or
that's
a burger.
Or the chopped salad. Have you had the chopped salad at Portillo's?
The chopped salad is great.
Dude, the chopped salad is insane. Not enough people know about that. One more thing before we let you go here. Did you know that Carson Daly, because you were born in 2000, right? Or are you 99?
I was born in 2000.
Okay. Did you know that Carson Daly was like the guy back in the 90s? Did you know this? Are you aware of this?
The host?
Yeah, the host of The Voice was like one of the most popular people in the 90s. Did you know this?
Is this a trick question? No.
Yeah. Is it Josh Hodson? What's
I
that?
hate you both so much
What's
right
this
now.
show? The Request Line?
Total Request Live, TRL.
Have you heard of Total Request Live?
No. I want to lie and say I have, but no, I haven't.
Yeah, no. He's just the host from The Voice, right?
To be honest, I barely even know who this is.
Exactly.
I'm horrible at pop culture, though.
No, you're totally fine. You and I are both sports pilled. This guy apparently dated the most pretty women on the planet for a good 15 years. And I just found out about this today. I'm glad that you, also born in 2000, had no idea.
I'm Googling him now. He's married.
He was my generation's Casey Kasem.
Oh.
You're both familiar with Casey Kasem, yes?
Yes, the top 40 guy.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank God. Thank you, Lauren, for making me feel better. I thought I was an idiot. Now we can be idiots together. So congratulations.
Wonderful.
I will. We will talk to you in 2 Thursdays from now.
All right, you guys. Thanks.
See ya. She didn't swear.
All right.
You're so mad. I wasn't.
No, I'm
just
not mad.
me.
Do I sound mad? I'm not mad.
Nobody knows who the
No. It's you young people, aka idiots, that don't know.
I look at the guy and go, really? That guy was a heartthrob? Are you kidding me?
No, I agree with that take. That's a fine take. That's what I thought when I was in my bedroom watching TRL going, really? This guy gets to flirt with Christina Aguilera?
Similar goes, well, time to die.
No, it's the children who are wrong.
I'm sure that I will be wrong because I've been wrong all week when we do Dog of the Day and What to Watch coming up next on a Poll Question Thursday.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt. Middays with Matt. Middays with.
Wow.
That's all I want.
It'll get you.
It will get you sometimes. You know what also will get you? The dog of the day. It's bit me in the ass the last 6 picks.
No.
We are bleeding. We are bleeding, but
6 picks.
do you know what's not bleeding? What to watch. It's one of the best segments we have on the
That's
show.
right.
What are we watching tonight, Josh?
I'm gonna dabble throughout
Dab a ranch?
Yeah.
Dabbing a little ranch?
because it's not a deep roster tonight, but there is a little bit of everything. Men's basketball, number 13, Michigan State, number 8, Purdue. 7 o'clock on your Peacock tonight. Women's basketball, Tennessee at number 6, LSU, 5 o'clock on ESPN. NBA doubleheader on Prime, Rockets Magic at 6:30, followed by Wolves and Clippers at 9. NHL doubleheader on ESPN, Flyers Rangers at 7, followed by Oilers Kings at 9:30. Your Omaha Mavericks baseball squad will take on receiving votes Wichita State here in about an hour, 3 o'clock on ESPN Plus. At 4 o'clock on ESPN Plus, that Omaha Mavericks softball team that we keep telling you to get on the bandwagon for. They're at, I believe it's number 7, number 8, depending on which poll you look at, Arkansas. And then number 9, Nebraska against number 21, Oklahoma State tonight in softball. That is at 6 o'clock on ESPN Plus, Matt.
Wow. What a slate. What a little dabble of a slate.
Just a little bit of everything.
Are you just dabbing some ranch, if you will?
All right, folks, let's talk right now. I'm going to kill your bookmaker. I'm going to rip his throat out. I will blow this man out. I will step on his throat until the man chokes. Let me tell you how. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. I'm on a roll.
Dude, you got to love dogs, right?
You love it when you think you know a team. We're like, I've watched enough of this team, not only just this season, but like throughout the years where I'm just like, I know how you operate.
Is that why you picked St. John's as your dog of the day yesterday?
Okay, stop it.
And they scored like 9 points.
How am I supposed to know? The Lakers are in this kind of weird trend where they like win and then they lose a lot, win a lot, lose a lot. And like this is like one of those things where it's like, no, they got to lose their third game before they win 6 in a row here. So they play Phoenix tonight. Phoenix is a plus 154 underdog. Phoenix having a pretty decent season. I'm going to take the Suns money line at home against the Lakers tonight.
He's betting on Jacob Padilla.
I was going to say I love Jacob Padilla. I don't really know Jacob Padilla.
Oh, great guy. You'd love him.
I think we'd have a great time together.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, though, I'm retired from pickup basketball, so we can't bond over that.
Okay.
You tweak one knee.
It's over.
It's over. Why?
Because why are you going back out there, right?
Thank you.
What are you trying to prove?
Preach. A lot of my guys get on me for not wanting to play basketball anymore. I'm like, I don't need knee surgery. That's the last thing that I need in my life. I don't want to do rehab. I don't want to be on crutches. I don't want to be in a brace.
Just because I was trying to stay fit, trying to hang out. Like I could do those things other ways.
When I play softball, unless I'm like clearly beating out a tag, I'm running like Giancarlo. Okay. I am not, no hustle doubles in softball. I'm not risking my well-being. I'm not tearing my Achilles so the Cheese Weasels can get a 7-5 win over the Velociraptors. All right. That's not happening.
What a perfect description of beer league softball.
Yeah. So we can win 18-14? Like I'm not sorry.
Oh no, we might get beers after the game, or we might not. I bet we will either way.
Yeah, I'm going to Tiger Tom's no matter what after the game. All right, like this is just I just want to swing the bat because I don't swing the bat a lot. J-Man goes, wait, is it Giancarlo's fault? Probably. It's not my fault though. It's actually my pleasure to say I'll see you on Monday. Everybody have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you all. It's been a great episode of Middays with Matt. You're in good hands. Austin Jacobson will be in tomorrow for me. Him and Josh Odson will have a great show. Blue Jay Overtime, for all you Blue Jay Overtime stands out there, you're going to be in for a treat with who's filling in for me.
There will be someone hosting Blue Jay Overtime.
There will be. It took a long time to get there.
Might have been some groveling.
A lot of groveling. And probably will continue to be. But we love this person. Middays with Matt is wrapping up. No crossover. We'll see you suckers on Monday.